What is going on, everybody? My goodness, we got a full house over here, but guess what? I'm not doing no introductions. I'm going to pass that over to my man, Mike.
Okay, all right. Thank you there. Pete Simonetti, all right, our ringleader here, NYY News. Okay, we got a very special episode here, preview. Yankee opening day got postponed a little bit. That doesn't matter. We'll still do it, okay? We're still going to do a show, okay? All right, let's get started here. I'm going to go back to my man, Pete Simonetti, okay, from Designated Spitters. Okay, he's spitting with, he's got Francis Lee over there. He's on that podcast, I believe. I got my my show notes here. Okay, we got RB Beltran. He's in the top right corner on my screen there, NYY News. Of course, can't forget the legend himself, Gary Sheffield Jr., okay, from Chef Talk. Great podcast, solid content. We got our NYYST fellas, Christian and Chris Jr., okay? And, of course, don't forget the two twins, okay? And I'm not talking about Minnesota. I'm talking about Luca and Alex from the Twin Bill podcast, okay? We got a full house here tonight. It looks like the Brady Bunch, okay? In my favorite show. I got Greg, okay? We got Marsha, okay? We got them all. We're all here tonight. Pete, I'll hand it back over to you. Let's have a fun time tonight, okay?
Yes, okay. My goodness. You don't get, Mike doesn't do this stuff for anybody, by the way.
It's exclusive content here.
No doubt about it. So, guys, welcome everybody that is in here. My goodness, it has been quite some time that all of us have been together in the same room. I'm actually going back to, when was that? Was that January or December that we did
the channel introduction?
I would say January.
It was
like January 1st kickoff.
Big kickoff call that we did. Now we're kicking off the season. But yeah, man, as good old Mike SGR there said, everybody's in here. We're excited. We're going to talk about all thing Yankees today, all thing predictions. We're probably going to get a little crazy, to be honest. This is something that we do often. So I just want to pass it around the room real quickly. I'm going to throw it over to my man right over there, right in the box. What is that game? Remember that game? There was a game where people were in cubes. What was that game?
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah. Hollywood Squares, yeah.
So my Hollywood Square guy over here, I'm going to pass it over to Gary Sheffield.
Yo, what up? Yeah, we're going to get crazy. I see Pete's already thrown it back.
About
so,
six in.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I need to amplify any of that, so I'm just gonna sit back and watch that. But yeah, we might as well change our name from NYY News TV to the Negative News Network, right? Because that's what we are. We're all just a bunch of negative guys.
No, we got optimism. Francis is right down there.
Talking Francis.
Talking Francis.
That's all we need.
Hey, yeah, I know we're bad guys because if you predict anything other than a division title. We didn't make the team hardly any better, but if you predict anything other than winning the division and a World Series, you're just not a fan, and you can't be. You can't talk to anybody, any higher ups, nothing. So, but no, in all seriousness, we have balls at this network, and it's gonna be fun. So let's roll.
I love that. We got balls. We do got balls. I tell you that much. RB,
what's
going on,
up?
I'm
back.
Looking like over here. RB,
what's up?
Yeah, man. Let
Good
the
to be
people know
back.
what's up. Just tell them.
Listen, people have been reaching out to me. Arby, when are we going to see you again? Listen, I'm back. Baseball is back. Let's get crazy, and let's just have some fun.
That's the plan.
Let's go.
That's what we do. Who's underneath me? Oh, that's Alex. Alex, what's going on, twin?
Oh, if I'm not interrupted by background noise, I'll try to speak as clear as possible.
What's going on back there?
But no, my grandfather's back there. So
is he a Yankee fan? Get him on the pod.
Fuck it, dude.
I'm good, thank you. This show is good as it is.
Talking grandpa.
Talking grandpa.
But in all seriousness, it's been a ride since December joining the team. For a little bit we didn't have baseball where there was very little optimism, fights about, it's the owner's fault or the player's fault. Now we get to fight about, are the Yankees actually going to be a good team? Are they not going to be a good team? But I'm just excited. Baseball is back. I mean, I'm still going to be watching games tomorrow, though that the game is postponed until Friday. I'll be there, except I'm lenting. I'm fasting on Friday. So I can't have a chicken bucket, but that's fine for me.
Oh man, the good old chicken bucket. Now, who do I want to? What NYYST guy do I go to first, Chris or Christian?
Go to
You know
me
what?
first.
I'll let you two fucking deal with it because you two are nuts as it is.
Go to me first, because Christian, I gotta say, on these lives, at least last time he had the drop the mic moment, And I don't want to follow that. You know, I'd rather lead into it. And I don't have much to say anyway, other than thank you to, who was it? MLB Network, who put out the predictions for each division.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently. Thank you for that. Just pushing more people towards alternative media for baseball or Yankee content. What did they predict? Every single team other than
The
Orioles having the same record.
Fucking stupid.
That sounds realistic. And thank you, because we've said this from the beginning. We said it from when we came on in January. Call us what you want. Call us negative. We're just going to give it to you like it is, man.
That's all it is.
And that's it.
That's it.
And that's it. And
real talk.
we have Putin, I think, just left us a super chat.
Russia says peace to the world.
Russia talking about peace is hilarious right now.
Russia, hey,
like
we appreciate.
That's as good as Brian Cashman talking about championships right now.
Oh shit! My goodness, no, Russia, we appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the contribution, man. We appreciate that. Christian, what do you got to say, man?
The world is not ready for what I have to say tonight. I'm very excited to be here. We said this on the show on the NyynewsPete podcast on Monday. This is what we all been looking forward to. We're at the doorstep of the season here. It sucks that it's got to be delayed another day, but I mean, we're gonna have Yankee baseball really soon. I really want this to be the last night where I bitch and complain about how much I hate this team. And then on Friday, I can actually enjoy watching baseball. But as we said before we came on here, that I will probably want to rip this fan that you can see behind me out of the wall.
I want you to do it live. I want to see it live.
We did the over-unders on Monday's episode. Over-under 2:30 p.m. before I want to rip this fan out of the ceiling.
It might be over-under this episode. Oh, man. SGR, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? Dude, I'm pumped for this season, guys. This is going to be a fun time. It's crazy. We got started with all this during the offseason, and it's been, the such a good time these past couple months. Pete, you're doing a great job with all of this too, man.
Appreciate it,
with
man.
all the graphics and everything. It's looking good.
Yeah,
but
absolutely, bro.
I'm just pumped to get started, really get into the actual Yankee content, some actual games to watch. We got Cashman coming on the podcast. We got Brett Gardner will be coming on. Exclusive takes only on NYY News. Only
don't forget Buck.
Oh, and don't forget Buck Showalter, all right? Because we love Buck, all right? He might be over for the Mets right now, but that's all right. We're still gonna have him on NYY News.
SGR, does Buck like to watch?
Buck. One thing I can say about myself is that I do love to watch. I love to watch. I'm a little cook.
So we got a super chat right here from Eric, and he says, "Hey Pete, you should have SGR answer as Brian Cashman, as Cashman's moves this offseason, and you and Francis be the reporters. You never know what can happen. Stay tuned."
Hell
Stay
yeah!
tuned.
And we had one
watching.
we had a contribution from Tim Allen also. Following up Putin. Not to out to Putin. We had Tim Allen come on.
The Tool Man's here.
Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
Tim the Tool Man is in the house. This is impressive. We got celebrities in the house now.
You know, Tim Allen was trafficking cocaine before he became a famous comedian.
He's a very, very smart man.
Some buzz.
He's a very intelligent guy.
Yeah, so was Peter Gammons. Peter Gammons got pulled over with like 10 pounds of weed in his car.
And a gun.
But he
was like 89 years old when that happened.
Yeah.
He didn't, how you think he got all his sources right there?
Yeah, source.
That's
it was for his glaucoma.
Yeah,
his Glock.
Glaucoma, all right. His
Glock.
Yeah,
Cracker Pete got pulled over.
Yeah, that's right. Guys, by the way, this show is brought to you. This show is brought to you by Cracker Jill's. If you haven't heard much yet.
The official Pete, did you know that's the official snack of the Tampa Tarpons?
Is it really?
Oh God.
Cracker Rachel's coming to a store near you.
What time is it?
Very
8:17. We're already kicked off.
And that's the show, folks.
Guys, have a good day. Thank you for coming. But no, man. Francis, Luca, Francis. I forgot about you guys. Luca, go ahead, and then Francis, who's gonna be Francis the Optimist today is my prediction. We'll go to him last but not least. Luca, what's going on, man?
It's been one hell of a ride here at NYY News. I'm very appreciative of Pete having me and my brother on. I've been enjoying the podcast, especially the irrelevant Yankees game, which we had. I think last week or the week before. That was really fun. Overall, it's great that we have baseball again, but we're going to find ourselves complaining. But you know what? At least we're being real. At least we're not sucking up, should I say.
Tell him, Luca.
Tell
him, Luca.
Did you say sucking up or cucking up?
Cucking up, damn it.
Could be both.
Yeah, that works.
Who was the one that said it? I think it was SGR. Did you say that time it was cookies?
Cookies. I don't know, man. Sure.
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably
sounds like an SGR word.
Cookies. Imagine one of these cucks going to a store. Can I get a dozen cookies, please?
Yeah, they sell them.
Francis, what's going on, fam?
Man, chilling, man. I'm happy to be here.
I love this guy, by the way, man. I'm gonna proclaim my love to Francis Lee right now. I love that guy right there, man. Francis, what's good, man? Let him know.
Nah, man. Nah, y'all know, man. It's always love, man. It's all love. Optimistic Francis is in the building. I'm gonna let you guys know something right now.
Oh shit.
Listen, I am optimistic, Francis, but don't let that fool you. Like, even I am not going to be able to sit here and tell you the Yankees are winning the division in 2020. I'm sorry, bro. It's just as optimistic as you want to be. I don't know how you get that shit off. I don't know how anybody's getting that shit off right now. So yeah, man, I'm looking at it. I'm going to try to look at it glass half full, but I'm not rolling with them winning a division right now. I'm sorry.
Facts.
That's just
Francis, you're not a real fan. Francis, you're not a real fan.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey, look, you
You're
could be optimistic and realistic at the same time.
I think,
And
that's what
you got to do.
It's honestly almost pathetic that Francis has looked at this team and thought that they won't win the World Series. The fact that anybody looks at this team and thinks we're not going to win the World Series, shame on you. It's a joke. Pick it up.
Hey,
You're
Francis,
not a fan.
Who are you again? You are who? Everybody wants it in the chat. No, come on, man. How do you start the show now?
Oh, my bad. I forgot. Oh, my God. Y'all already know it's Francis Lee, a.k.a. your grandmother's boyfriend. We in the building, baby. All the abuelitas, all the nonas, send them my way, baby.
This man been slapping leather ass for a month.
You know what I'm saying? The more wrinkles, the better, baby. We out here.
Guys, before we move on, so the show's going to start. We got the introductions. We got over about 100 plus in here, guys. If you're out there right now, subscribe to the channel. Like this video. It helps in the whole algorithm. That's why we're always saying like. It gets it rated higher. Share it out. If you're on any type of social media, share it out. We appreciate it. Hirsch with the super chat says, 9 of the best in the business. Can't wait to meet you guys. Throw some cold ones back and watch some Yankees baseball on June 25th. Yes,
let's go.
Hirsch already bought his ticket. I appreciate you guys, man. Moving on to the next one. Anthony Medina, who I also know bought his ticket. Hi, guys. It's awesome seeing you all together like the all-star team. This is a great way to kick off the season with NyynewsTv. Good luck moving forward and take it all the way to the top. That is the plan, my friend. And then the last one we have is by Rasan Thompson, my fam. He says, my brothers, salute to you all. Very happy about NYY News. And you are all going to crush it. P.S. Tell Gary not to duck me on the MLB The Show smoke. Drop the gamer tag. All right.
Not only, let me say something about that real quick.
Oh, shit.
Not only can Rasan not beat me, there's not a soul on this chat that's beating me in MLB The Show. I'm the real deal. I'm here to tell you right now.
Sounds like a challenge for a tournament.
It absolutely is.
And
I'm the real deal. And anybody who's in the chat who wants to play me, send me a Twitter DM and we'll play this week. That's a promise.
I love it. Gary doesn't play.
I might.
Look at
I get in on that.
When I was watching Gary's chat, like the chat when he actually got the game first and did all that, I was like, all right, let me see Gary play. Then he played and Gary just like smoked the dude in 2 innings and the guy quit.
Oh, dude, I hopped in there and clapped his cheeks.
I mean, he played it cuck, so I mean, it happens. You know, cucks.
I did.
Yeah, there it is.
So you know what, guys? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna get everybody aggravated. Unfortunately, for us to talk about the season, we gotta talk about the offseason. So I'm gonna have us go around the room and let's do this and make it easier so we get past it. Let's just give a grade, okay? So Arby, start us off. How do you grade the Yankees offseason?
D+.
D+. I'm gonna say D+. Gary.
I'm gonna go C just because the New York Yankees got slightly better but by no stretch of your imagination can they win the World Series.
Christian.
I'll go C-. I'm being optimistic, Christian, with that grade.
Optimistic, Christian. Wow.
As we've been saying, they've gotten incrementally better, not good enough to make you feel good about this team going far this year.
Okay, Alex.
I'm gonna go with Christian, say C-. I mean, yeah, they got incrementally better, and yeah, sure, third base. Even though I disagree with Pete, I think he made a take that was like Josh Donaldson's an upgrade. Personally, I don't think so when it comes to valuing the Yankees. But with that being said, like they didn't upgrade enough, and they had so many options. But I'm just gonna say C-.
Chris.
If I'm looking at this team on a piece of paper and comparing it to last season, I'd go C+, maybe C+. But too many fans are doing that. And you got to look at it in context of who was available and what did we get and how much money did we still spend regardless of who we got. And when you take everything into consideration, I can't give it any more than a D.
I feel you. SGR. Can you tell us Brian Cashman, please?
Well, first off, guys, we really should have won the World Series at least by now, but we had to face horrific cheaters along the way. I give our offseason an A+. We got much better. We got rid of guys that we needed to, and I really do believe in these guys that we're a World Series caliber team.
That is so damn
unreal.
It's fucking
It really is
man.
unreal.
Yeah, man.
I just can't get over that. That's so crazy.
This dude is talented.
Brian Cashman himself will get spooked out.
Francis, I appreciate it.
Luca?
I gotta go with D+. Yes, they made very minimal upgrades. It's not like they made some. How many positions did they really upgrade though? That's my point when saying D+. Yes, they upgraded, but how slightly? Like how many positions did they upgrade? That's why it's a D+ for me. It's not like they didn't upgrade anything. If that was the case, I would have given it an F. It's not like they upgraded a lot though. And out of all the options, as my brother said, it's a D+.
I'll take it. And Francis Lee, what's up, man? What do you rate in the Yankees?
Off-season grade, I'm gonna go C. And I think it's pretty much for most of the reasons that have already been mentioned. But the biggest thing that I will say that I don't think anyone said so far is there's a glaring hole in that rotation that's been there since the end of last season. And for you to start the offseason by saying we're going to address shortstop, center field, catcher, and you can never have enough arms, and then proceed to not really get a catcher, not do anything about center field, and not do anything about the rotation is like ridiculous in my opinion. Like we're going into the season with Garrett Cole and then question marks galore after, and Garrett Cole himself is a question mark. So C, that's the best I can do.
C. So around the board, I'll say we're all probably averaging roughly D+. D+, very low C. Nobody over there saying, an overall grade. I think everybody kind of in the comments too are, pretty much agreeing with us. Look, I think at the end of the day, Luden says do a Pete impersonation. Well, your voice got to get squeaky when I get crazy. Because that's the funny thing about me. I get mad and my voice gets really high. I absolutely love that. But Luden, I appreciate it, man. But just talking about where the team is, I mean, I think that's the confusion too. I think you guys probably understand that, as obviously you guys in here understand it, but the people in the chat too, is that we weren't coming in to be negative just to be negative. That was never the point. The fact of the matter is, with what was available, nobody knew what this offseason. If you told me, and I've said this countless times, but if we can go back to the Yankees lose the wild card and somebody goes, hey, but here's the deal. The Yankees add Josh Donaldson, IKF, and Ben Rortvedt or Jose Trevino. That's your offseason. There's nobody in their right fucking mind that would have said, yes, that's the offseason. I know for me, I would sit there and say, what the fuck happened?
Pete, you're missing a big move, dude. They also signed Greg Bird to a minor league deal.
Oh, God. I mean, and no disrespect to Anthony Rizzo, but I just feel like Rizzo was going to be there if they didn't get Freeman or Olsen. So
Rizzo was a formality, dude.
Facts.
Yeah.
That dude
No
was
doubt about
coming
it.
back no matter what.
Yeah.
Rizzo was going to be at first base. This offseason was a punt.
Well, I said it. I said it on our show. Is that you can dream of these things. You can dream of Freeman. You can dream of Olsen, but the Yankees were always going to make that safe choice, which is now what they do. And Anthony Rizzo presents a safe choice to them, where he's not a superstar. He's a good baseball player, and that's what they're paying him to be, a good baseball player. So, yeah, it was a formality that Anthony Rizzo came back, and we all, me especially, man, I was riding the Freddie Freeman train probably as hard as anybody, and we let ourselves fall in love with the idea that the Yankees were actually going to go above and beyond to make this team a legitimate World Series contender, and they didn't do it. And Pete, just real quick, to the grade. I wanted to preface my grade by saying, really, to me, it's still an incomplete, because there's still one thing that they need to do that they didn't do yet.
Pitching.
Well, not even pitching. The guy that they built the fucking cathedral for after he
Gardner?
played 10 games in Major League Baseball.
All right.
I mean, you built a shrine to the guy after he played 10 games. And now he gives you a deadline. You're literally hours away from the guy's deadline, and he doesn't have a contract. I mean,
Crazy.
I said that's like the bottom of the barrel thing that they had to do this offseason. So, I mean, if we take the field on Friday and Aaron Judge doesn't get a contract extension, it's a complete failure of an offseason. There's no other way to look at it.
I made a joke. I made a joke in our chat too, and I was joking, but it's comical in a sense, because you never know what the fuck happens with his organization. Imagine they just go back to Gallo and was like, "Hey, we'll sign you long term." Let him
He'll
be.
be
I mean,
cheaper.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But Francis, right there you go. Exactly. It would be a cheaper option. Now, I'm not. Trust me, and for the chat, Gallo got a lot to prove to. He's Italian, so I got bias on him. But he has a lot to fucking prove. Joey Gabagool got a lot to prove. But I can see, this team right now, they don't work in a normal ass mindset. They work in a different type of mindset right now. So if they end up saying, Judge put it on the table of saying, look, if it's not done by spring, I'm going to become a free agent, or we're going to wait till the end of the year. I can see the Yankees turning it around and saying, okay, well, let's go ahead and lock Gallo up, put pressure on him.
I can see that.
You never know.
Alex needs to use the restroom, I think.
The nerds will love it.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
Alex, what's up, Alex?
You guys are clearly missing the point. I mean, Aaron Hicks said that this team is going to have some fuck you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got some fuck you for Aaron Hicks too.
Yo, why are you stealing my lines, talking Francis?
Alex, by the way, you're not in school.
I forgot this is a PG
polite.
show. I was about to do a Jeffrey Tubin on here for Aaron Hicks. Take a look at this, Hicksy. Take a look at this, baby.
Hey, by the way,
Honestly-
guys, Miguel
Sorry,
Castro. Kevin says Miguel Castro was a great addition. I'm seeing that in the chat. I really like that addition.
Yeah,
so
so
I
do
don't want
I.
to be
I do
all
too.
negative.
I do too.
But the one thing, real quick, is that the Yankees this year and the way that they go about business is they make a move that you technically can't complain about. They told us they're going to work at shortstop, catcher. They're going to maybe try to go work at shortstop, get some pitching. The Yankees always had depth in terms of pitching. They just didn't have top tier talent, big game pitchers, because they don't have a 2 behind Garrett Cole. The Yankees technically got better at shortstop because they got a guy who can just field the position, but he can't hit. Then they said, well, we wanted to retain Rizzo because he wasn't part of the problem. You don't look at a team and go, well, they're clearly not good enough to win a World Series, and then add 3 dudes. You're like, I can see how he kind of helps the team, and then go win a World Series. How are you going to sell that product to all these people in the chat, all the people who are watching all these networks? How are people looking at this product and going, yeah, after seeing what we did with IKF and getting addition by subtraction with Gary Sanchez, now we're World Series title championship. How does that happen? Honestly,
brainwashed.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch on something too, because Christian brought up the whole Judge thing. I've been saying this for the last couple months, and this is my biggest problem with the Yankees and why I feel like not just what we see is a problem, but you can just tell everything overall is a problem, the way this organization is run. And here's my take on it. There should, to really function efficiently, there should always be things that are easy go-to. This is getting done. This is something we get done right away, and we don't have to focus on it. So we can put our attention on things that truly need to be addressed, right? The whole Judge thing should have been like this.
It should have been done already.
It should have been something that isn't even thought about. You should have your finger on the pulse with a guy who you consider a franchise player enough to know where you need to be, how to get it done, and something that's almost automatic where you're not using your energy towards it. And instead, it's like not only are we fucking up getting guys and trading for guys and whatever, we're not even doing the easy stuff anymore.
No,
they're not.
That's right.
And that's
my
biggest
the scary part.
It's like we're in an abusive relationship. We're like asking for the bare minimum. And then once they finally, because Aaron Judge.
We're like Will and Jada.
Yeah. I would honestly say, guys, like if I had to predict, Aaron Judge is going to be a New York Yankee for the next 7 years. If I had to guess. Now, the fact that we even have to sweat, we're sweating like Chapman on the mound. I don't want to have to think about whether or not Aaron Judge is going to be a New York Yankee. He deserves to be a Yankee. He's played well enough to make around $30 million for the next 7 years. He deserves that contract. So anyone who's sitting there talking about, well, the Yankees shouldn't give him this money. No, the only reason that we're sitting here pinching pennies about Aaron Judge is because of Hicks's contract, because of Britton's contract, Chapman's contract, and sitting there worried about Sevy, who's given us like 30 innings the past 3 years because of injury, making $10 million. So Aaron Judge is just not that dude to be saving money on. I'm sorry.
And I just want to make one point also. If all you fans remember a few years ago, when the excuse the Yankees gave us for not spending money was because in a few years they're going to have to pay all the guys coming up. How many of those guys of the baby bombers are still here?
None of Judge.
One.
What is it? Judge and Sevy, right? Judge and Sevy.
And okay, so Judge's contract, we need to offer him an extension. Has it just been clean since they saved all this money and now it's being allocated properly and got rid of some other guys? No, is that still an issue? Yes.
Yeah.
So all this talk they give you is bullshit. And I've been saying this too. You got to separate front office from the players on the field, right? I'm going to love this team. I'm going to watch every pitch and I'm going to hope they win everything, obviously, every game I watch.
Right.
But when you separate the two and you look at the front office, if you're not wanting to throw up in your mouth that you spend money and time and energy on this team and this is the way they've run their business over the last handful of years, man, you got to be either brainwashed or just ignorant.
Or brain dead.
Or brain dead.
Unfortunately. Richard throws something in the chat too, and he's right. He said, Judge is a cash cow, sign him. And that's the point I made earlier today on another podcast, is I said at the end of the day, Aaron Judge is a guy that pays for himself. So the Yankees can't bullshit you on that. It's the same thing if they went out there and got Carlos Correa, is that these are the type of guys that truly pay for themselves. And I'm not getting into the whole Correa thing because he's a twin. We know that. But don't let the Yankees bullshit you on this idea that, well, we don't have money for it. Brian Cashman comes out and goes, well, we signed, we have Hicks' contract and this guy's contract. Motherfucker, you did it. That's you.
Right.
It's not like somebody else did it. You signed those deals. It was very simple for you this offseason to go out there. Hey, look, if we want to get Robbie Ray or if we want to get Correa, we want to get this guy. How about I go move some of those deals like another GM? They moved Kimbrel. You mean to tell me he couldn't move Chapman if he wanted to?
Well, that's the craziest thing to me. I love it. Like the CC and Ryan Rucco's podcast recently, they did an episode. I forget with who it was, the most recent one. Oh, Ken Rosenthal. And they kept repeating. They were like, I know Yankee fans were upset that they didn't get pitching, but it's like, who was really out there? Who was really out there? And the whole time,
Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray was out there.
The
Robbie out there. You fucking kidding me?
Ray for $23 million. Let's not forget. $23 million.
Robbie Ray for 23 or Josh Donaldson 25? Which one?
They offered Verlander 25.
Verlander 25. So what are we talking
But
here?
they weren't interested on Robbie Ray because what? Because Robbie Ray's deal was what, 5-6 years? It wasn't even. You can't complain length. You can't complain AAV. You can't say that. Oh, there's doubts about whether he can do it in the AL East. Like, what was? If you look at it, what was really the hang up there?
Because he doesn't have a turtle, bro. He doesn't have a turtle.
I mean, that's what it is. We're following a team. We're fans of a team that have now become a franchise that makes even the easy things difficult, right? Because they're trying to be the smartest in the room. Like we've been saying, this whole thing with Judge is a no-brainer. Think about it. If you're Brian Cashman and from the outset of this offseason, look, we're not going to sign a big shortstop. We're not going to get a really expensive first baseman. We're not going to be in the market for another outfielder that's expensive. And you know this already, then why wasn't locking up Judge like the first thing you did? Because that's the biggest.
Francis, let me stop you for a second because John Cena's bald spot says this in his super chat. I'm not just saying John Cena. I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. He says, agreed, Judge contract should have been the first thing done this offseason. Exactly what Francis just said.
Yeah.
So
actually, I disagree with it that it should have been the first thing done this offseason because it should have been done last year.
Oh,
you should have never entered this situation with him.
And Luden throws a super chat in that says Brian Brokeman. That's all he wanted to say was Brian Brokeman. So he definitely wanted to get that on air.
No,
guys, FYI, super chats will all be read. So I don't care if you put a super chat and I say, Pete, go fuck yourself. I'll say it. I don't care. It doesn't really matter.
Another thing, when was the last time we had a prospect that's this big as Judge that literally planned out?
Cano.
And now we're here taking a risk of potentially letting Judge walk and test free agency. I'll tell you what, I told everybody this. You let Judge walk in free agency, you're in deep trouble.
He's not coming back.
If it gets to a competition, I'll say it right now.
He won't come back.
No, the Yankees are in fucking deep trouble because think about it. You got the Giants.
They can outbid the
Mets.
The
Mets.
Listen,
the Mets are backing up.
I will.
The only reason. Go ahead. Sorry.
I will guarantee you, if Aaron Judge hits free agency, he's going to sign with the Mets. There's no way Steve Cohen won't take that and fucking shove it right up the Yankees' ass by signing Aaron Judge.
Unless Judge somehow says, I'm not going in his mind, I don't want to go nowhere else. But I don't see that.
Why would he do that now? Why would he do that now? Why would he want to play here? Why would he want to?
I agree with that.
If he plays through this season without a contract, I'm sorry, but like, everything's off the table. I don't want to see no bullshit from the fans. And I know I'm going to see it. A lot of you cucks talking like, oh, but how dare he do it? No. Fuck that. How dare they? How dare they? I don't give a damn if that man goes to Boston and puts on red, bro. If he does it, that's good. That's what we deserve.
Francis, you know we were lied to.
It should have never gotten to this point.
Francis, they signed Aaron Hicks before Judge.
They extended Hicks.
That's a slap in the face itself.
Yeah. Well, I understand. When I think back to it, it's like, okay, you're gonna go Hicks, you're gonna go Sevy. Why? Because in that year, it was like, okay, we could extend Judge for about the same amount of money that we're gonna give to these two players, or we can do these two players and do Judge later on. The problem is they never got to Judge, and now we're in his walk year.
See, but this is the reason why I think I'm the only one in this chat that I'm not worried, because there's no way in hell.
Well, the press will be fucking horrible on them. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
The thing is about a deal like that with Judge is how the fuck do you walk that? What bullshit do you feed the fans? And let me be honest here.
Well, how the fuck do you walk away from this shortstop free agency class?
I agree. No, that's a little different.
Correa took a 1-year deal.
I agree, but that's a little different because Judge is our guy.
But this is your guy, though.
Yeah, exactly.
This is your guy.
Yeah, homegrown guy. Yep.
I'm gonna ask.
I'm sorry.
I just want to ask a quick question, and I think the answer to this will show you how toxic this front office is, because I think we'll all agree that the answer is the same here.
Did you drink a box of wine first?
I should. Slap the bag. If Aaron Judge had a bullshit season last year, put up half the numbers that he put up, would he be extended right now?
Yeah, he probably would have been.
Yeah,
probably would be, right?
Would have been done.
Probably
they're
would be.
fucking assholes.
And you would think in a healthy environment, you'd say, well, no, that would make them a little more hesitant because maybe he's not the guy. No. This team would have jumped all over it
because they could have seen they could have saved some money somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. But the fact that he had the numbers that he did last year, honestly, is the reason why now they've probably waited this long, because they're hesitant, because he played up to his potential last year. It actually didn't even hit it, and he might this year.
Exactly.
So
that's the crazy. You to have potential. If you have potential on the New York Yankees and you played poorly last year, that's the perfect time. They just need you to play play your position well. Just give us somewhat of your skill set, but by no means can we get 145 games out of Aaron Judge. 145 games from Aaron Judge is a top 5 player in the game.
Yep.
That dude's a $30 million a year player.
Yeah.
The Yankees don't buy. The Yankees don't buy when a stock's going up. They always buy when it's going down. That's just the way Brian Cashman works.
About leverage.
He's smart. And the dude is he's not a stupid guy. We just understand the narrative that he's pulling. He's pushing a narrative throughout all of us. And he just wants us all to be like, sit here and clap and, oh, we saved this much money on this dude. And it's like, no, dude, you're spending $250 for a roster that half of us just said is a C roster.
And here's the thing, real quick. I just want to throw this out here before I get to Ronnie's super chat is Brian Cashman has this issue now. One is ego, and two is you want to be too fucking smart. You could hire a dumbass to be the Yankees GM and put this team together better. I mean, you sign a check. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the field to be the Yankees general manager. It never had to be. They never had to be that. You could look at this roster in the offseason and go, okay, I know what the fuck we need. Let me fill it in. This guy wants to be Brian Smartass out there and say, oh, I'm going to look for Miguel Castro because, hey, that's going to be great for it. And you know what? It might fucking be great. But give me the stars that I want to see. Give me the guys that I want to see to get hype about it. Say, you know what? Red Sox fans, fuck you. Mets, fuck you. I'm happy you did that. I'm happy you did all those moves. You know what? I'm happy what we got. Guess what? We're going to fuck you up this year. But guess what? As a Yankee fan, I can't say that this year. I can't say that right now.
Miguel Castro can't be the only major league pitching acquisition you make this season. How do you survive? Like, honestly, if you are – this is what my problem is with Hal Steinbrenner. It's he doesn't fucking pay attention to what happens to his money and who spends it. Because if he did, Brian Cashman wouldn't have a job right now.
No question.
We're at $240 million, and that's not even including the money they're going to have to pay Aaron Judge this year. And Brian Cashman is walking around flexing his muscles like, this is the most money we've ever spent on a team. That's not a fucking thing you brag about, bro.
Not at all.
We're spending the most we've ever spent on gas, too. Who gives a rat's ass how much you're spending? We don't care. I don't care how much you're spending. Look at the team. Is the team good?
Christian, they're gonna give you the same response. Oh, we're banking on Sevy's health and our prospects.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah, because I'm an asshole. Because all of us in here are assholes.
Sure, that's the thing.
Shit in one hand, and you know what? Shit in one hand and Phil in the other, and tell me. And the wishing is Sevy being good, and shit in the other, and tell me which one will fill up first.
Christian,
because it's not going to be Sevy. I'll tell you that.
I think you guys on your podcast brought it up on FanGraph. Who's the projected number one rotation? What team?
Oh, please.
Is it the Yankees?
No,
yeah.
It wasn't
for the
Yankees.
numbers.
Yeah,
can somebody explain to me how in the hell the Yankees rotation is number one?
Can I tell you how?
Because after Cole, it's a bunch of question marks.
Go ahead,
People telling me, oh, Sevy's an 8. No, you cannot trust Sevy's health this year. I said it last year. Next year, ease him in the bullpen, then work his way to the rotation. People are no. He got all these months.
It's not even that. You could put him in the rotation, but give him some fucking help. Don't say, hey, Sevy, you gotta be the number 2 this year.
Put him in the rotation, but have contingency plans.
Correct.
That's the thing. There's no contingency plans with this roster. Like Donaldson goes down, DJ's playing third base, and he's not a good third baseman. But he's playing third base, and they don't care. Yeah, and that's it. Or like, what if? Because nobody's thinking about this because the kid's young or whatever. But if IKF breaks his arm a week into the season, Gleyber Torres is a shortstop again.
We're gonna talk about that.
Francis,
hold up on that.
You know what I mean?
I want to make that an actual segment. Let me get to these super chats, and then we'll continue on actually with that because I want to talk about it. Ronnie with the super chat says, "Nice to see NYY Voltron back together. Hoping I can fly out to NY for the NYY News Hangout in June. Might have to work, but we'll see. NYY News to the moon. Elon Musk voice." And then we had a couple of more on here. Next one, Jonathan Alvarez throws a 100 symbol out there for us. And John Cena's ball spot again says the Judge's situation reminds me of Cano's situation. He's going to end up walking because they're not going to match an offer another team gives. And then Tim Allen, the tool man, says if Judge hits free agency, I think he walks and ends up somewhere like the Angels. So it doesn't matter where the hell he ends up. I just think I'll just say it now. Like my pop's a huge Judge fan. The two players my dad has always loved was Mark McGwire back in the day and Aaron Judge. He likes the guys that homer. And he loves Aaron Judge a lot. That's his favorite guy.
I just can't see Judge leaving.
And he said the same thing though. If they end up screwing this guy, not signing him, he should fucking go. He should go. So I want to turn this over to Gleyber.
I was just going to add one quick thing, Pete.
Go ahead.
And I was talking about, you were talking about how the press would try to cover this up. Here's what I think would happen. Let's just say Judge, I don't know, tears his oblique, but he pulls his oblique or a hamstring. After the season, Judge will sign with another team. I think he's signing with the Giants because West Coast ties. The media will go, he's an injury-prone outfielder, and you guys have a younger option in Juan Soto in free agency or whoever.
I'm telling you right now, Francis, I think you said it. What makes everybody think that this team's going to sign Juan Soto?
Never going to.
I'll tell you what makes them think.
The whole
same
weird
thing
Yankees.
The same thing that made us think we were signing Correa.
Yeah, exactly. Let me start with Chef. Chef, continue on because I know you were harping on that on the show.
Everyone told us that Carlos Correa was a perfect fit for the New York Yankees, but a lot of fans said Trevor Story was a better option because he was short term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Carlos Correa just went to a team for really what he did was he finessed an agent, his last agent, and reset so that Scott Boras can sign his next contract, his next big 10 million, his 10-year deal with another team. Okay. So everything went perfect for Brian Cashman to sign Carlos Correa. Perfect. A short-term deal to allow Volpe to show up unimpeded at shortstop. And he saw it go perfectly, and he said no. So how is anyone going to tell me that Juan Soto who's going to be asking for $450 million, is going to suddenly fit like a glove in New York? No. To sign Juan Soto, you have to say, fuck you. We're going to get Juan Soto. That's the type of player Juan Soto is. He's the Barry Bonds of this generation.
Yep.
He potentially is the best hitter in the world.
Yep.
So if we're sitting here talking about if Juan Soto is likely to come to the Yankees, nothing that major is likely to come to the Yankees. You get whatever they offer us, whatever they throw to us, because right now, based on what they show us, what have you seen that would make you believe we're signing a $475 million player?
No.
How many Tommy Johns has he had?
That's an indicator.
Exactly.
That's an indicator right
Look,
there.
bro, it's very simple. It's very simple. We know that when Juan Soto's free agency comes, there's only a couple of teams that are really going to be in that sweepstakes, and unfortunately, the Yankees are not even in the top 3.
We'll be
right?
talking.
That's
what'll happen.
They'll be talking. They'll be in. They'll be
the
what
media
you call
will
connected.
the media will put the Yankees. Oh, the Yankees are interested just to jack up the prices.
Bro,
but
they always
we're
put
not
on,
gonna
but
yeah.
RB,
Yeah.
2 years from now, when Soto's a free agent, they won't even be using our names to jack up the prices anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
They'll be
you're right.
using the Mets. They'll be using the Dodgers. They'll be using the Padres. The Yankees. I'm telling you, like, we just went through a whole off season where all these elite shortstops were out there, and all we heard was Volpe this, Volpe that, Volpe this, Volpe that, Peraza this, Peraza that. We love both of them. They both can't play shortstop, so why the fuck are they still both here? I don't know. Is either one of them up on the major league club? No, but that's neither here nor there. What's to make us believe that 2 years from now, when Soto's a free agent, they're not going to be telling us, but Dominguez.
Right.
But Dominguez. It's going to be the same bullshit. There's nothing that they've
and
done
here's
to make us believe that they're going to.
Here's the biggest problem with it. The biggest problem with it isn't necessarily that they're acting as if they have a plan. The biggest issue is, what's the payroll right now? You would think we're passing up on all these guys. The payroll should be at the bottom of the barrel. No. It's what did Cashman brag about?
Their highest payroll
ever spent, history. Correct?
Highest payroll ever, third in the league.
I equated him bragging about that to coming home from school and saying to your parents or something, this was the most I've ever studied on a test in my life. I studied for a month straight, didn't go out, didn't talk to any of my friends. Okay, hun, what'd you get? A D. Okay, I don't give a shit how well you studied. You studied like shit.
Yeah.
Chris,
guess what? You need a fucking tutor to teach you how to study because you sucked at it. The results sucked, and now you wasted 2 months of your life to get a D.
Facts.
No, something's wrong here.
How can you have a 260 million plus payroll and still have a lot of questions on your roster?
That's the
Look at the Dodgers.
thing. I've been harping on that since the fucking beginning.
Bro.
It's a disgrace.
People, just 260 should be good enough to be a World Series contender.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Look at the Mets roster. Look at the Dodgers roster. They're 270, whatever. That's a loaded roster right there. But people complaining, but Cashman and how spending. We're not talking about how being cheap. We're talking about the way Cashman is spending is wrong. He's spending on the wrong players.
Yep.
Oh, how many Tommy Johns you got? 3? I'm gonna sign a 5-year deal, 100 million plus. How about you? You didn't play last year. I'm gonna sign you to a 10-year deal.
Well, here's
That's the issue here.
thing
It's
that,
Cashman.
And the thing that pisses me off when you talk about this, and everybody in the chat too, just so you guys know, we are going to get to the season, but we got to start off with what the Yankees have done to get to here. And one of the things that I want to bring up, and everybody in the super chats, we're going to get to you shortly. The thing that pisses me off, and everybody here has talked about this. We've all talked about these guys. When you're Brian Cashman, you got to have some optics, right, about who could actually help this club. One of the things you see now is you see guys like Ron Marinaccio, who's making this team. Guy's legitimate. You can see he's just legitimate. He's one of those guys. But they go out there and they go, okay, we'll give $30+ million to 2 relief pitchers. But then they don't even have the balls. Cashman don't have the balls to say, you know what? I fucked up. I said this on a podcast this morning. If Cashman came out this offseason and said, you know what? What's the budget? Okay, you don't want to go above 260. That's including bringing Judge back. No problem. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add guys, but I'm going to move salary. That is my mission, is to move salary. Then this fucker comes out and has the balls to say, I had to get creative. What the fuck did you do that was creative? You scumbag?
Yeah.
Are you
Can't say he
me?
wasn't creative. None of us saw it coming.
Hey, Brian.
somebody
Brian,
explain
down
to me-
there.
oh.
You created the worst roster a team's ever had with their highest payroll ever.
Christian, go ahead,
What?
and then I
What?
want SGR to respond as Cashman if he doesn't mind, because I want to know what was so creative.
What fucking type of creativity do you think it takes to take Josh fucking Donaldson away from the Twins? What was going through your? What I would die to be a fly on the wall during that conversation. And Pete, you nailed it so perfectly when you did that live, or it was on Designated Spitters. I don't remember.
It was live.
But
It was live.
when you reenacted the phone conversation, the GM of the Twins, he must have been fucking on the floor laughing the fact that somebody wanted to take Josh Donaldson away from them. And again, it's like the Yankees are not, they're going out there and they're spending money. They're adding big contracts, but it's like, dude, you could have got, with MLB ranked, Freddie Freeman, the 8th best player in the entire sport, and his AAV is only a couple $1 million more than what you're paying Josh Donaldson. So don't tell me it's not in the like. There was a report that came out that said Freddie Freeman, the Yankees love Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
And what did we say on the NyynewsPete podcast? The fucking I got a chubby thinking about it. The perfect guy to stick in between Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Would he not have been?
Yeah.
Right? And Brian Cashman even said that in the Zoom meeting with Freddie Freeman and his agent.
Yeah.
They said, I don't think it's going to fit budgetarily. But then a month
I
or
would have
two
said
later,
go fuck yourself if I was his agent.
a
and I
month
would've
or
hung
two
up.
later, you mean to tell me you fucking scrounged up enough nickels to get Josh Donaldson for $50 million? I swear to God,
He's going to break the fan. He's going to break the fan.
Break it, Chris.
You can see it. Brian Cashman better not be in fucking section 234 on June 25th.
I got a feeling he's going to make an appearance. I got a feeling one of them are going to make an appearance.
I got a feeling he's gonna be in like Belize or some shit when we go. He's not gonna be anywhere near the stadium.
But listen, Christian, you're forgetting the creative part of getting Josh Donaldson.
He created the
It was creative because
for the
it allowed
Twins.
the Twins
It was
to
creative
sign
for
the
the
guy that we should have signed. Yeah.
Guys, essentially, when I look back at it, that whole thing is really, in my mind, a 3-team trade. And the Yankees got fucked by Texas and Minnesota at the same time.
That was casting couch right
double
there.
penetration.
Yeah, Cashman got DP. He got
Double
DP.
penetration.
Oh, we saw
he
how much
takes-
the Yankees liked DP last year, right?
bro.
Yeah.
Bro, he takes IKF. He gets IKF out of Texas. Texas goes and grabs Seager and Simeon, right? He grabs Donaldson and Rorkvek from Minnesota. They go and grab Correa. And we're left with Falafel,
That's what I call him.
the catcher who showed up with an injury already. I mean,
Oh my God!
how much more Yankee can you be, right?
That's
He
right
showed
hand.
up-
Christian's breaking some
the
shit
injury
before
already.
this thing's over.
Don't forget the icing on the cake though. They signed Correa to a fucking stopgap
Stopgap deal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Chris,
the best
Chris.
part of it all is that. That's the best part of it.
It was
all.
a 1-year deal. He was literally
Opt-out,
finessing
yeah.
the league so he could leave and then give the money to Scott Boras. That's the handshake agreement. How
Here's
does
how you
Brian
know-
not know that?
Right. Here's how you know they're not even trying, because the excuse they gave you for not going out and signing a big shortstop was because of the future, yet it was possible to sign the no debate best shortstop available to a stopgap contract. What better of a situation could you have?
Chris, the future started the season in Double-A. Like,
That's crazy.
What are we talking about?
It's unbelievable.
I'm sorry.
Wild.
I'm not even trying to be that guy, and y'all know it, but it's just like, bro, there's no answer for that. Like, I don't care.
I want to
what
do my
Cassius
grade again.
says.
I want to do my grade again.
What
Go
is
ahead,
this?
Chris.
What-
Go ahead, Chris.
F.
Fucking F, dude.
F for fuck you.
It's an F for exactly. Damn.
This is why I don't understand fans saying, "Oh, this is a B plus offseason." In
Because
what
they're
world this is a
Arby,
B
they're
plus?
Fuck Arby. I love Yankee fans and I do it. I don't mean it bad. There's a level of being optimistic. Look, we're about to get optimistic when we talk about the season. We're about to say, a couple. I know for me, I'm going to tell you guys the Yankees improved. Did they improve greatly? I don't think they did. But I'm not going to sit here and bullshit and go, they didn't. The fact of the matter is and here's the problem with a lot of these people on Twitter. And then I got a couple of super chats I want to get to. Is that I understand you want to be I understand you want to be liked. Look, I don't give a fuck about being liked. I never have. I don't care. I don't think anybody in this room really gives a shit that if we're liked. I know Sheffield definitely doesn't. He gets shit every single day. I know everybody on his network now probably gets more shit for just joining this network. So at the end of the day, we don't care. But at the end of the day, if you're a Yankee fan, you sit back again. This is the easiest way to sum this up. You see what they have now. You're told this at the wild card game ends. You would sit there and look at the person that told you, go, you're out your fucking mind. But now because they got it, everything is okay. Everything is all right. So don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that.
They'll talk themselves into anything, Pete, and that's why they get away with it.
I can't even put the words together right now because I feel my blood is boiling right now. When are we going to get to Gleyber Torres? That's all I want.
That's
We're
who
going
needs
right
to
after
answer,
this.
though.
Right after this, let me get to these super chats. Richard says Yankees are rebuilding but don't have the balls to admit it. LA Yankee King says, hey, Pete, what did I say at the start of the offseason? Cash was going to mess this up, and I'm not shocked. How hasn't Cash gotten Paddock? Well, Paddock's already gone, so it doesn't matter. And then Luden says...
To the Twins.
Whoa, I think I lost it. Where was Luden's at? There it goes. Luden said, I was actually happy for a second we lost the way we did last year, thinking I'd finally light a fire. Yeah, that a lot of us thought the same thing. And we finally be heard, but nothing. He said R.I.P. at the end.
And what happened 3 days after they lost? They re-signed Aaron Boone.
Oh, God, don't start, please. Please don't start. I can't talk about it.
Can I say this once?
Turning a corner.
Can I just say this one sentence? And
He's closing the gap.
He's turning my fucking nuts is what he's turning.
This sums up where the Yankees are right now. This is the best possible way where I can sum up in one sentence the mindset and the way the Yankees do business nowadays. You want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Aaron Boone and the Yankees have been around since 1903. So think about that.
Aaron Boone is a cocksucker. Okay.
Yeah, okay, right? Okay. The Yankees have been around since 1903. Now think about it. We're in 2022, okay? That's 120 fucking years this organization has existed as the New York Yankees. Aaron Boone has become on Friday, he will become the first manager to manage a fifth season for the New York Yankees without having previously won a World Series.
Right.
That's crazy.
You know what?
Aaron Boone is the best manager according to Cashman.
No, time out. Because that shit that Kristen just finished saying, bro, I don't think there's anything that sums up the zeitgeist of what we're living through with this fucking team better than that. That's it. Like, there's no clearer sign that we are accepting mediocrity and running with it than that right there. Then that's that right there.
Hey, Brian,
we just gave him a 3-year extension.
Cashman, what do you got to say about that? I want to hear what Cash got to say about the re-signing of Boone.
Guys. Well, first off, this has been, you all, very, very offensive, borderline illegal content here. He's
going to sue us for defamation.
Well. I might watch it. Fix that algorithm, Pete. We drafted well, we picked well, we traded well. The moves they haven't panned out. Maybe the way the fans have obviously we want to win, right? But it hasn't worked. We're gonna keep that ball rolling, and we'll get this thing going again. I promise you that.
Well, With Cash saying that, let's move on to our next topic. And guys, real quickly, before I move forward, I want to say the NYY News TV 2022 Yankee season preview show is brought to you by BetUS, where the game begins. Sign up today by clicking the link in the description and selecting one of the many promo codes available upon signing up. Drop a deposit of $50 or more and be off to the races. Again, that is BetUS, where the game begins. You go down the app. Make sure you check out our link below and get signed up for that. But we want to move into Gleyber Torres, and I know Christian is hot about this. So I think the big thing right there that everybody's kind of confused about is come opening day, Gleyber Torres might be the guy at shortstop, and that is a possibility. So anybody saying it's not, it is. So Christian.
Oh no, I was told a million times today that
you're an idiot. Is that what they said?
Because that I was an idiot for saying that was going to happen.
And that is a slap to our faces. That happens.
I need Christian to have the floor because I know Christian been waiting on this one.
All right. So we harken back to October of whatever it was, whatever date it was, the 5th to 6th, whatever day it was. The Yankees are playing a do or die postseason game, the most important game that they're going to play all year.
Right.
You have to win this game or your season is over. Who's playing shortstop?
Andrew Velasquez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also known as Squid.
Yeah, Squid. Okay. I wonder why.
Also known as my sister's tit. Go ahead.
Okay. So Andrew Velasquez, 28-year-old career minor leaguer, 4A player, is the Yankees' best option to play shortstop in the biggest game of the year. The game where if you don't win, your entire season ends. Now think about that for a second. Why did the Yankees get to that scenario? Because their supposed superstar shortstop, Gleyber Torres, was so bad. So bad. Not even like he was okay. You could live. He was so bad. The Yankees in July or August, whenever it was, literally pulled the plug out of the wall and said, we're done here. You're going back to second base. I don't even remember what the hell they ended up doing with DJ LeMahieu. I can't even remember. I think Urshela might have been hurt. So
he was in. DJ was injured, wasn't he?
DJ was injured.
He had the core injury, right?
He had the core muscle injury already. He was out.
So you pulled the plug on the entire thing. Now, why are we so mad? One of the biggest reasons why we're so mad is we didn't get a big time shortstop, right? Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Simeon, name them. Go down the list. If Gleyber Torres does his job even adequately, we're not mad about not signing Carlos Correa. You want to know why? Because Gleyber Torres is our future shortstop.
Yeah.
Now you're saying, well, we have Jesus Christ himself down in Somerset and Anthony Volpe. And I don't want to disrespect Anthony Volpe. I'm sure he's a great kid, and I'm rooting like hell for him that he will become a superstar for his team. But the Yankees then pivot and punt on all those guys because they have Anthony Volpe waiting in the wings. So you bring in Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's a decent Major League Baseball player. Fine, whatever. We're not punting for what could be in 2 years if Gleyber Torres is even good at his job.
Right.
So now opening day is, and you started seeing it trickle in, right? You're paying attention to the lineups on spring training. Gleyber Torres is playing shortstop.
Many times, too. Multiple times.
Right. It just happened once. So you're like, okay, whatever. Maybe they just want to give him. And then you notice, when the A lineups are coming out. When the Yankees are playing all their guys. And Gleyber Torres is consistently the shortstop.
Yeah.
Now the thought starts going into your brain. It's like, they're really going to fucking do this because they don't want to hurt his feelings. This is what it comes down to. They're going to take and smack us right in the mouth on Friday, and everything that they promised us, we're going to improve at shortstop. We had to pull the plug on Gleyber Torres because he was so bad. And the first fucking opportunity they get, they're going to trot Gleyber Torres right back out there at shortstop because they can't hurt his feelings. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is the new guy. So who the fuck cares if he doesn't play on opening day? Yeah. We can't hurt baby Gleyber's feelings. Not to mention that the one thing that he was supposed to be really good at, being an offensive force, hit 6 home runs last year. But we can't hurt his feelings. And all I think about is last year about how, Higashioka's not Garrett Cole's personal catcher. And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're a fucking liar. I can smell the bullshit and fucking all the way across the fucking GW bridge, you fucking liar. And then out comes Gary Sanchez, opening day, catching Garrett Cole. And I told Chris and I told Ryan on the podcast, it's all for fucking theater. It's all for show. They don't want to fucking hurt Gary's feelings by sitting him on the bench on opening day. But I guarantee you, Cole's second start, Higashioka will be behind the plate. And I tweeted it, and everybody's like, you're stupid. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. And what the fuck happened? The very next start, Kyle Higashioka took over as Garrett Cole's fucking personal catcher, all because they didn't want to fucking deal with the questions on opening day. They didn't want to hurt Gary's feelings, and they're running it. You want to run it back in 22? They're running back the same fucking thing again this year where they don't want to hurt Gleyber Torres' feelings. Well, you want to know what? I don't fucking care about Gleyber Torres' feelings because he was abysmal last year. Terrible. Yep. He fucked up the Yankees' entire fucking organizational plan by being so bad. But now we got to give him the honor of being in the lineup opening day. You know what? If you want to do that, you want to fuck somebody, fuck Aaron Hicks. Sit his ass on the bench then if you really want to get you need to get Gleyber Torres in the lineup on opening day. That's where I'm coming from. But don't insult your entire fan base and tell us, oh, we need to improve at shortstop. We need to do this. And then try to sell us that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is this fucking wizard out there. And then bench him on opening day because you don't have the fucking balls to tell Gleyber Torres to his face that you don't deserve to fucking start on opening day. So fuck you, Brian Cashman, and fuck this entire goddamn organization.
I thought he was going to – I was waiting. I'm going to give some claps on that one. I was waiting for him to go full Sam Kennison for a second and just start screaming.
Dude, we're honestly just like the Yankees are just a pair of true religion jeans in your closet. We are just an overpriced.
Nah.
Oh, and
Francis, they the Pelly Pellies. Remember the Pelly Pellies?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about true religion and the Yankees. Technically speaking, you can spend $300 on these jeans. They're actually nice jeans, but if you went to the club tonight, you're not getting laid. That is what the New York Yankees are doing. We are running the same shit back over and over and over again. And the Yankees turn around and go, you mean these aren't nice jeans? No, they're nice jeans. They're just popular in 2009. Figure the shit out. Do something different. I don't need you to surveil Twitter and go, hey, what's Christian, Francis, and Gary saying? What's Pete saying? Okay, we need to do that.
They ain't gonna
like
that.
You have to have a feel, some type of feel. You could have walked into the offseason and said, gee, Bryce Harper's a free agent. What do we need to do? Well, maybe if we don't get Bryce Harper, they're going to be livid. It's fair to say that's common sense. But if you don't get Bryce Harper, chances are when there's another superstar out there like Carlos Correa, or if there's a Trevor Story, or there's a Marcus Semien, you need to go get those guys. Where is the feel in this organization where a common sense having individual looks at the roster and says, this roster is just pretty good. No chance to win the World Series. A player like Freddie Freeman, Carlos Correa are out there to go get, because we can just write a check and they say no because a 20-year-old who hasn't even sniffed a field in AA, who we are all rooting for. That's the reason we're not going to get superstars, is a 20-year-old who can't even go get a beer with us. That's a joke.
Yeah,
but here's the funny.
What you said right there, real quick, is really spot on, and that's the funny thing that I brought up a lot when it comes to this fan base, is that people that are getting upset for Yankee fans that are simply just coming out and saying, "Hey, look, I don't like the way this offseason going. Look at the roster," and they're making excuses. There is no excuse for this roster at this cost, and that's what makes me laugh about Hal Steinbrenner, because you here's the thing I struggle with, and I'm honest, I really struggle with this idea. Bro, you are the fucking boss. Everybody knows who your father was. You are the boss. If you went to the media right now, Lindsey Adler and Brandon Cunty might cry, but you can come out there right now and say flat out, you know what? This team put together is not what I want. Brian Cashman's gone. And Aaron Boone, you got bullied. You're getting bullied right now. You're fired. And you could do all that shit and nobody could say jack shit. You could pull your balls out, slap them on the podium, and say, I'm the fucking boss. That's simple. There's nobody else but me. And guess what? This roster is not my standard. And it changes today. But he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. And the family.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because it is his standard.
It is. Exactly.
All they
That's
care
what I'm saying.
about
But
as
get
long-
some fucking balls. Be like your dad for a fucking second, please.
You know who he is? I got the perfect comparison for who Hal Steinbrenner is. You said everybody knows his dad. Everybody knows who his dad was and what a fucking tough guy he's fucking AJ Soprano. That's who Hal Steinbrenner is. He's AJ Soprano.
So true.
Damn.
RB, what were you trying to say? And then I want to make a quick point on
No,
all
I was
this.
gonna say it's just mind-boggling. Going from last year before the trade deadline, Cashman himself publicly said we need a shortstop. That's like saying Gleyber Torres is not the answer.
Right.
So at the trade deadline, Andrew Simmons until the end, Trevor Story. Well, we were doing this special live last year. Trevor Story and the Yankees were at the end, but the Rockies decided not to trade Story. And then we was all thinking, the offseason, Carlos Correa, Trevor Story, Seager was going to be the Yankee shortstop. What happened? If I was to tell you guys, Carlos Correa is going to sign a 1-year deal, you guys would tell me, Yankees going to sign him, right?
No question.
Exactly. So you're telling me at the end of the day, Correa signs a stopgap year, IKF as well. You would think Correa will be the answer over IKF. This is the reason why I'm with, I think it was Luca or Alex. I was okay with Gio at third base moving to this season, like starting this season. I personally didn't think we didn't need to touch third base at all, because you know why? Because you have Correa shortstop, you have Gio at third. They can't tell me, that wouldn't have happened unless we had to acquire Josh Donaldson contract to trade Gary Sanchez. That's BS. Leave Gio third, because guess what? God forbid Correa was to get hurt. Gio is your backup shortstop. And we all seen how Gio played last year at shortstop. Way better than Gleyber. Because I'll tell you right now, IKF will not be healthy all year. But I hope that's the case. And we're all going to see Gleyber Torres playing shortstop, and we all going to come back live and complain.
If Gleyber Torres gets I'll even say that. If he really starts more than 10 to 15 to 20 games at shortstop, Brian Cashman should really resign himself. Flat out. He's the same guy.
He shouldn't start.
But he's the same fucking guy that said before last year when he was a shortstop that he's not a shortstop. And they still put him there.
But that's what I'm saying. So he shouldn't start any games at shortstop.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be a thing. It shouldn't be a fucking thing. Like, why is it even a thing?
Francis, how many times did I tell you guys what the Cashman said publicly to the media? Gleyber Torres is better suited in second base.
This is a big point.
Yep.
DJ is better suited second base. That's why I said all along this offseason, Gleyber is the odd man out. Because now you got two players that play the same position that they're good at. Trade Gleyber, leave DJ at second. Now we had this long jam at second base. Now you have to force Gleyber, the backup shortstop, to IKF.
By the way, too, my center fielder just hit his second home run of the season.
That's another thing.
Of course
Florio
he did.
should be the starting
Of
center.
course
Should be
Florio just went yard again. But Chris,
What did this guy do to Brian Cashman that he can't fucking sniff the major leagues for more than like 3 days?
He fucked
That's
his
what I'm
wife.
saying.
from my understanding.
That's his ego, Christian. His
he
ego.
definitely pulled the chick.
He's not ready. He's not ready. Apparently.
He'll
We
be
made-
35 years old and they're going to tell us he's not fucking ready.
No, that's
We
when he
made
will
this-
be ready.
No, what he's
That's what he
waiting
will be
for.
ready.
That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for him to be like terrible. Then they'll call him up, and then it'll just be
Why did they not learn from what happened with Clint Frazier?
They don't know how to
Andujar.
nurture. They don't know.
Andrew,
They
thank
don't
you,
even know how
Alex.
to nurture the guys that were waiting to become superstars.
No, the
Let's
reality
fire
is
Brian.
it's
There's so many
because we
things you
cover
could
him
fire
like this,
Brian
guys.
Cashman off of. And
Chris is
Clint
got a
Frazier
hanger
should
in
be
his
at the top of the list of things you could fire Brian Cashman off
Look,
of.
prime example. Look at Miguel Andujar. This guy shouldn't be in this team right now.
No,
But
he
Cashman
shouldn't be.
screwed it up. Now we stuck with him.
Yeah,
Now we got him
we-
playing as left field.
Yeah,
We made-
But here's the
we
thing,
made-
RB. No, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just gonna say we made this point last night, and I like Chef's analogy better with the jeans, but we said it's like when you spend $500 on groceries, and then the next day you're hungry, so you open up the cabinet, and you're just like, what the fuck did I spend $500 on? And then you realize you bought the like off-brand fucking pack of Oreos, and
Oreos.
And the best part is your kids are sitting there, and you don't let them see the package. You just put them on a fucking plate, right? And you hand them the plate, And they're like, what the fuck is this? And you're like, they're Oreos, dude. Eat them. That's what the Yankees are doing to us. They're buying off-brand and making it look like the real fucking thing. And we don't even know what they spent their money on.
I bet the fucking chicken buckets aren't even chicken.
But yeah, probably.
Like
they changed the chicken, bro.
But the biggest problem, the biggest
I told
problem
you, bro.
is,
I went in there and I sold them all plant-based shit this year.
They're serving us weeds out there.
Impossible chicken.
Daffodils.
The biggest issue is they're doing all of this, right? They're doing all this to us. But then at the same time, it's like everything is just so, it's such a waiting game, right? Everything is okay because they know the fans are going to forget 2 years from now what they said.
Yeah.
They continue to do the same thing. So you can go all the way back after Girardi was fired, after they, came all the way back after the ALDS and made it to Game 7 in the ALCS, and then they just cut ties with Girardi. And it was like, just wait, because we're bringing in a guy who fits better. And just wait. Gary Sanchez hasn't been great, but he really didn't get along well with Girardi. Just wait. And then it was like Strasburg and Bryce Harper. Oh yeah, but just wait. We got to sign, the baby bombers. And then it was just wait. The shortstop class is coming up and we're going to sign some big names, and just wait. And we're not going over the luxury tax this year because just wait until next offseason when it's reset. And it's been this game of just wait. And this was the breaking point for me this year. I'm sorry. It was so abysmal that I cannot forgive the front office until a World Series is won.
You were going to quit a couple of times.
Absolutely.
I remember you just said, I'm done.
Chris,
done.
I got to create the shirt,
now.
the Chris I'm done shirt. I got to create
Yes,
Done.
please.
This is the issue now. This fan base nowadays, because of Cashman and Howe, as long as we make the postseason and wild card, that's good enough. And the fan base feeds off of that. Okay, that's fine. Next year, we're going to improve incrementally and still make the wild card again and keep going again and again and again, and we'll be satisfied. No, the whole World Series or bust, that's out the window.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. You can say no to anything. That you can always just say no.
That's the issue.
That's the thing. You can find a way to make any investment into the market is a bad investment. When the Phillies gave Bryce Harper a 13-year deal, what did everybody say? Well, look at them. They got Bryce Harper. And then other people were saying a 13-year deal, that's going to be a nightmare in 2037. Anyone gives a rat's ass. That shit doesn't matter at all.
I've been saying that for however long we've been doing this show, that everybody's like, oh, you can't sign Freddie Freeman long-term. You can't sign Carlos Correa long-term. You can't extend Aaron Judge. What's going to happen in 5 years? Who fucking cares? The Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009. They haven't even fucking sniffed it since 2017.
Bingo.
And you're concerned about what's going to happen in 5 years? And that's what pisses me off so much.
It's the Yankees.
And that's what pisses me off so much about passing on all these guys for Anthony Volpe. And it's because you didn't win. Your plan when Cashman took the keys from Hal Steinbrenner in 2016, and he really said, "I'm going to build this team in my image, how I want to do things." Now we're at a point where you can say it failed. It was a complete failure. So why are we going to let him do it again? He's starting the clock over again. He should not be allowed to do this. And that's
the model, dude. That's the models. They just want you to know you've got a chance this year. And if we go all in this year, we have a worse chance in 2 years. That's the model they want to sell us, is that if you go get Carlos Correa and Volpe's sitting, stunting his growth in the minor leagues behind Correa, then isn't this such a short-sighted move? That's the way they want Yankees fans to look at all these moves, is that you're getting us to be too aggressive. You're forcing our hand. And then down the road, we're going to be like the 2015 Phillies, where we're just like have our thumb up our ass and we can't make any moves. No, we're not the Phillies. We're the Yankees.
Let me get to these super chats real quick, and then I want to get to Luke, because I think, Luca, you had something to say on there, and I want to get to you. Li Yankee King says, is our standards too high, or are we wrong? I'm confused. And then he also said something about DJ LeMay being an albatross. DJ LeMayu's not an albatross. Give the guy a year this year, see what he does. I think DJ.
He was
LeMayu's
injured last
He
year.
was
I just
injured
don't
almost
understand.
all season, but we all know LA Yankees not.
And our standards aren't too high. I'm sitting here asking for the bare minimum at this point.
Yeah,
Just
and
give
we're
us
not even
Judge.
getting
This
that.
I'm there with you. So Luca, go ahead, take over on what you had to say,
I
and
was
then I
gonna
want to
say-
cut to some updates coming up for us.
Yeah, I was going to respond to Arby's comment when he was talking about how could the fan base, just bypass seeing what's really going on. Why complain when you have Bronxy to look at and all these fan pages are promoting this
Fucking
bullshit?
turtle.
You got Bronxy, you got this fan, you got that fan. It's so ridiculous because these fan pages don't shut up with their whole nonsense.
It's a joke. It is a
It's all-
complete
it's all
joke.
a joke.
And real quick, I just want to make a point
Please do.
from what Chef just said. The Yankees do use that excuse. We don't want to stunt their growth and have them waste away in the minor. How many fucking prospects have been wasting away for the last handful of? Who's stunting Florial's growth right now?
Should be nobody.
Nobody.
Should be
But
nobody.
where is
No,
he?
Brian
way.
Cashman is stunting his growth.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I wanted to make this point real quick. And this is no disrespect to Anthony Volpe. I don't want people to think that we hate Anthony Volpe.
Michael
I don't-
Volpe, my
I-
friend, I'll see you soon in Somerset. We'll watch a game. We're gonna see a game together.
I don't think any of us are rooting against the kid. I think we're all 100% in agreement that we want this kid to be a stud here. But what outside of Aaron Judge, really take him out of the equation. Everybody that's crossed that is coming up and played for the Yankees that was supposed to be can't miss, legit major, blah blah blah, whatever you want to say about them. Which one of those guys on player development wise has given you any type of optimism that the Yankees are going to develop Anthony Volpe properly, that he can be the shortstop for the next 10 years?
Jesus Montero.
Gary Sanchez, Gleyber
Gary
Torres,
Sanchez.
Miguel Andujar,
And I
Luis
wanna-
Severino. Go
Chance
down
Adams.
the fucking list.
Justin Sheffield.
Chance Adams, that cocksucker, unbelievable. I want to talk about the Volpe stuff, but I think that's all going to come in because we're going to talk about the season coming up now. I know we got into the offseason, but guys, look, there's 9 of us, so we're a bunch of nutcases. It's a hell of a time. Thank you for everybody being here. I just got a couple of quick little updates for everybody. The first one is this Sunday. This Sunday is going to be an amazing day. You want to know why? 2 of our podcasts are going to be joined at the hip together. It's going to be extremely fun. NyynewST and Designated Spitters, as you're seeing on the screen right now, are doing a show together, a mashup of sorts, and that will be Sunday, April 10th, 5 p.m. That will be live. We went all out too on it. We got the mashup of the intro, mashup of the theme song, which really turned out well. It's going to be really fun. So it's going to be all 5 of us on that. I can't wait for it. That's going to be exciting. And then also too, you guys already know, on June 25th, thank you to our very good friend here, NyynewST, Chris, for setting this up for us. So everybody, please thank Chris for this.
No.
Thank you, brother.
June 25th.
Dr. Goes out to yourself.
There it is. There it is. I love it. If my fiance's listening, please throw the link in the chat so more people can sign up. We had another sign up today. The guys at Pinstripe Chronicles, I want to shout them out. 2 of them signed up today and bought their tickets to attend. Chris, I think at some point, bro, we're going to have to reach out and say, hey, is there any way we get more tickets available? Because we got until June. We might be 100 strong.
He's sending me an update where he can actually pull the list of everyone coming.
Great.
And so we can reach out if we want to plan anything, and communicate with anyone. But we'll have an updated list and we'll evaluate if to me, it seems like we're going to have to up the.
I think we're going to have to up it. Look, we're pulling in there 100+ strong. I'm telling you, because that's not until June. What the fans don't even know is that we got on Friday, coming up on Friday too. Myself, Gary Sheffield Jr., and Francis Lee, we're going to be doing Game Season Live. Game Season Live is our version of the watch party. So we're going to watch that entire opening day live. We got the live pregame show, the live postgame show every day. So I'm telling you, this fan base and this team, I'm telling you guys, I love what I'm seeing today. And I know all of you guys are loving what you're seeing too, but this is the vision I had of this team. This is amazing, by the way. This is really terrific. So our fan base is going to grow through the fucking roof. And by the time June gets here, we might have to plan another one because I truly think we're going to be 100 strong at this thing. And that is just a testament to the fans loving what we're doing and just us being who we are. So that is absolutely awesome for everybody that's a part of this network and building what we're building and the fans that are here to see us. So with that being said, I want to move on to the
It's
season.
going to be a shot to all our egos when everyone just runs up to SGR and they're like, "Can you do Cashman, dude?"
Yes, it is. I'm gonna be very.
Can you do a buck real quick? Do the
You know
buck.
what's gonna happen? We're gonna have to just start making our own Cashmans up and see if we can compete with them. We're all gonna have our own
Cashman's going to try and compete with them.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
no, with that being said, let's get into the talk that a lot of people are here to listen to is the preview of the season. I want to start off with let's break down first. Let's go starting pitching, bullpen, lineup. So let's start with starting pitching. I'm gonna pass it over to Arby, and then Arby, you throw it out to somebody else after that.
Okay. Like as in grading them?
No, just talking about it. Talking about what our rotation looks like. How do you feel about it? And we'll go from there.
Well, as of right now, the rotation is looking pretty skeptical because, like I said earlier, behind Garrett Cole, it's a bunch of question marks. And even Cole himself is not a secure thing as well, based on last year. So he himself has to prove to us this year that without that sticky stuff, he's the ace that we signed him to. Because if he's not the ace that we signed him to, we are screwed. Early in the season, we are screwed. But if he becomes the ace that we all hope that he is, then there might be some little light. But at the end of the day, I'm a little skeptical about this rotation because we gotta see how Sevy comes, if he can remain healthy. Taillon after his injury risk, and then after that, what is it? Jordan Montgomery and these prospect Clark Schmidt or
Mr.
Hill?
Turtle.
Oh, Nestor. By the way, for me, Nestor should be in a bullpen, not in the rotation. This guy can't go
fucking chicken.
Like Nestor himself can't go past 5 innings. Like, no, I should have put me personally. I would have had Hill or somebody. This is the reason why it pisses me off still that we didn't go and even a trade for a starting pitcher, a Manaya or a Montes, because now we have all these question marks, and now you putting pressure on Garrett Cole now again. So for rotation, I'm a little skeptical, but I hope Sevy can remain healthy. Taillon can be the old Taillon from the Pirates. Yep. And I'm just hoping for the best for the rotation. I'm a little iffy, but I hope I'm wrong. Passing the next to Francis.
Yeah, I echo pretty much all your sentiments there. I think it's funny we're starting with the rotation. That's the part of the team that I'm the most down on, I think. Yeah. Even with all the questions in the lineup, I think the rotation is the number one cause of stress for me as a fan going into the season. I know a lot of people are harping on the numbers from last year. I think everybody's already forgotten that they admittedly had a dead ball last year. I don't see them even replicating that right now, like as currently constructed. And then especially if they're doing things to like stadiums and stuff like that and to the ball itself, I don't know. It's not something where I'm really confident. Yes, Garrett Cole, to me, in my eyes, is our ace, right? And he is a ace. But he's going to have to show up. Right, I think it's beautiful that we start the season against Boston because I can't think of another team that I'd rather him start the season against than the Red Sox.
I agree.
I want to see that more than anything else right now. Like,
point.
Show up in the first game and shut them the fuck down because literally last year that was like the number one thing you couldn't fucking do. And if you're gonna be the ace of the Yankees, you need to be able to beat the Red Sox. I don't care how good their lineup is. I don't care how good they're managed. I don't give a damn if we're playing in Fenway in a wild card game. You need to be able to beat Boston. Yep. You also need to be able to beat Tampa Bay. You also sure as hell need to be able to beat Toronto and the Orioles, man. We were 11-8 against the Orioles last year. That had a lot to do, not just with our lineup not showing up, but our pitching selling ass against the fucking Orioles. Don't get me wrong. Mullins is good. Okay, Mancini and so, but bro, there was like 6-7 easy outs in the lineup every time we played them, right? Yep. And we're giving up home runs to 8 and 9 hitters, and people want to tell me, well, they were a top 5 rotation, friend. Well, those numbers are skewed. That's what I'm here to tell you. Those numbers are skewed. And as of right now, The rotation is my biggest concern going into this season. I'm sorry. I look forward to seeing what Monty does. I think Monty could possibly take a step forward, like Arby said about Tyone. Hopefully he takes another step forward, recovering from all those injuries. But I don't expect that crazy year that some people are projecting from Sevy. I'm sorry. I don't believe in Santa, but that's and Nestor Cortez, yeah, he had an ERA in the twos last year. That was beautiful, but they never let him pitch into the fucking fifth inning. Like, I'm supposed to roll with that, like, and feel confident about it. I'm sorry, I don't. I just don't. And we're at best, we're the third best rotation in our own division. At best.
So I will if you pass it over to somebody.
Let's get Luca in here.
Luca, 1 second. Let me get the super chatting. This from Zach Brownish says, "You guys are the best. NYY News TV will take over everyone. You guys keep it real. Please don't stop. Keep doing it. Fight the good fight." Zach, thank you, my friend. I give you my word. There's no doubt about it. We'll keep
fight
doing
the good fight.
Fight the good fight. Luca, what's going on with this rotation, my friend?
Arby and Francis were pretty good on it. You know, a lot of question marks. One thing that kind of worries me a little bit is, you know, how they're handling Severino, number one. Number two, what if he returns to that 2018 second half form? We all remember having him having this great first half. And then after when that second half started, he completely blew up. And then that eventually led it into the postseason against Boston. I think it was in game 3 where the Yankees absolutely got slaughtered. But I'm just worried that he won't be himself. Again, question mark, even with the injury, even his production as well. Tyone, good, solid 3 pitcher. Still has injury question marks. Montgomery is a 4. I don't mind him there. Number 5, I think, is also a big question mark, whether it's Heel, Schmidt, whoever. I got to agree with Artie's sentiment. Cortez is not a starter. He's a spot starter at best. He's a guy who's going to, you know, give your starters an extra day of rest. I will go to Alex now.
They're brothers.
The brothers. People, let me tell you about my best friend. Go ahead.
No, they're not best friends. Have you seen that podcast?
No, they be going at each other, man. I love it.
I'm kidding.
I like the point Francis brought up about the Orioles stuff, because you know what I remember? One of Andrew Heaney's first starts where he gave him like 3 or 4 home runs. I mean that was just some pure awfulness. But you know, in terms of this rotation, shit ton of question marks. Like Garrett Cole, I mean, he was close to Cy Young last year. Who knows if he's going to get even closer or actually just back down. Ton of pressure on him. You know, in terms of Sevy, I don't know what to expect. Same thing with Ty. And, you know, I was surprised when they had him pitching in spring training, because I didn't expect him to be back so fast. They said April, and then they said, okay, well, he's going to pitch in spring training. So I'm like, okay. I do like Monty. You know, he's a 4. Nestor Cortez, I've been saying for the longest time, is a spot starter. He's a bullpen guy. And I was going at somebody on Twitter who's like, oh, well, Nestor Cortez, you know, he had a great year last year. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? He's a bullpen guy. And the Yankees, for some reason, in the last few years have this real whole thing about, you know, starters that are in the minor leagues, they come up and they become relief pitchers. Michael King is one of them. Every time he starts, he shits the bed. 5.15 ERA. That's not made up. I did the math and all that other stuff. Davy Garcia, Luis Gil. I mean, look what they did last year when he had 8 or 13 scoreless innings. They bring him back up, and he's just has some problems. So I don't have trust in this rotation, and I don't like shouting out rivals, but I had a guy on one of my shows, Scott Belford of the Walk Off Podcast, who's a Blue Jays fan. He actually complimented the depth we have in terms of the rotation. I said, you know, Scott, I like your compliment here, but trust me, when they become Yankees in the big leagues, they're all bullpen guys. And someone told me this on Twitter. I'm not going to take it. Don't tell me this rotation is full. That's a load of bullshit. I'm going to throw it to Chef.
Okay, so I'm actually going to disagree with you guys, and I'll explain how. I think this rotation is elite. Now, I know some of you guys are probably thinking how is this team elite? How are these pitchers elite? But you have to ask yourselves what are they being asked to do? And What the team is asking them to do is throw 5 innings, 4 innings, do your best, and then we're going to pull the plug because we have more faith in the guys in the pen. And we pitch incredibly well in the first half of the season. We dominate. The Yankees, honestly, are going to be an oiled machine in terms of what they do on the bump this year because it's all short term. But what ends up happening is they don't give you any innings. That's my concern. No innings. Bullpen guys are going to dominate because they have plenty dudes throwing 100 with sink, with cut, all types of stuff, anything you ask. But they're going to be exhausted come wild card time. That's what's going to happen. They're going to throw Garrett Cole out there, and Garrett Cole's mentality is going to be, we're going to leave you out there until we can't leave you out there. And if you get into any trouble at all, we've got this super pen behind you that's a overworked unit, and they're going to go out there and get shelled. We are setting our bullpen up to fail. Our starting pitchers they're not being given any slack at all. They don't invest in them. They don't rely on them. And even Luis Severino, when he was technically our ace, they didn't believe in him. They said it's an out-to-out basis. What ace do you know in the big leagues today that you can name and say, yeah, the manager went up to his face and said, you're an out-to-out guy? Could you imagine Houston saying Garrett Cole is an out-to-out guy when he came into Yankee Stadium to shove the ball up our ass? No. We were all like, we can't wait to get this guy off the field. He's that good. That's what we said when Garrett Cole hit the mound. And that's how we know he's an ace. So when I look at the Yankees, they're going to pitch just fine. So we're sitting here worried about the rotation. They're going to be fine in the roles that they allow them to do, which is hardly anything at all. 3 and a third, 4 and 2/3, 5 and 2/3. Oh, we went deeper in that game this time. That's just a totally different ball game than all these other teams that actually win World Series do. So our mentality is just screwed up. It's honestly embarrassing. So I will pass it over to Chris Jr.
So the first thing I was thinking of is exactly what you touched on. It's that we talk about having reliable guys. Like Christian's been saying this forever. You don't want to give me superstars? Fine. Then at least give me reliable guys who can be in the lineup every day, who will take the ball every 5 days. That's my biggest compliment to Montgomery, is that he's just a reliable guy. He's going to give you the same thing over and over. He's going to have some hiccups. He's not the most, dominant guy, but you know what you're getting out of him. And that's what you want out of a, back half of the rotation kind of guy. But here's my thing, really thinking of it. And I've asked myself, what has been the Yankees' biggest problem in, since 2009, or even over the last handful of years? And the only answer, the main answer I can come up with, there's plenty of answers, but the main answer I come up with is this team, a team that used to be so prominent in baseball. They were the evil empire. Everyone hated them, right? A team that you knew who the fuck they were, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing you can say about the New York Yankees. You knew what they were about. You knew what their goal was, and you knew who they were. This team hasn't had an identity in the last handful of years, and it's only gotten worse. And to me, a true championship team has an identity that starts in the starting rotation. You can go back to so many of these championship teams, whether it's the Yankees or it's the 2001 Diamondbacks or anyone, and you think about the 2 or 3 dominant pitchers that put their fucking team on their back and dominated. Because can hitters be demoralizing? Sure. But guess what? They're only stepping up to the plate, 3-4 times a game, and they're up once every 9 guys. But a pitcher who goes out there and eats innings and fucking is elite can demoralize you every single pitch. And we only have one of those guys right now. And can Sevy be that guy? Sure, but I'm still waiting. Just like the Yankees, the Yankees operation here. Just wait. Well, I'm still waiting on Sevy. I know it's there. I know it's there, but there's too many question marks, and Tyone's become a bigger question mark now. And Cortez, we talked about it on our last episode. Not only did he only pitch until the 4th or 5th inning, he only made 14 starts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I praised him last year. What he did stepping into this rotation was fucking commendable, man. He did a great job. I don't know where this team would have been if he didn't do the job that he did, to be honest. But that doesn't mean that going into the next season, after one of the most embarrassing seasons I can remember, that he's in your rotation again. Yeah. It's mind-boggling. I think the Yankees' biggest issue is identity, and it starts in the rotation, and it's just not there.
Chris, they have an identity, bro. They're the fucking Three Stooges: Hal, Brian, and Aaron Boone.
Booney.
That's their identity,
and that's a shit identity for me. I'm gonna throw
Sickening.
it off to SGR.
Well, you guys have hit all the major points. It's really the big theme is the question marks. It's another year of question marks, of back-to-back years. Last year was Kluber. This year it's just, injuries and guys trying to prove themselves again. But if one of those question marks can pan out, because look, this isn't a rotation that's going to threaten them making the postseason, especially this year with the added playoff teams. There's a 12-team playoff. They'll get in the postseason. But it's not a matter of getting to the postseason for this team. It's taking that next step. And the crux for them has been not having two solid arms to go 1 and 2. And that's been the problem. When they had Cole his first year here, Tanaka didn't show up. He wasn't clutch Tanaka that year. Last year, who was their game 2 or the year prior to the COVID season? Who was their game 2 starter?
Davey Garcia.
Exactly.
And then J Happ.
Oh, God almighty.
I'm sorry about that.
I'm a baseball guy, bro.
Right. So if one of those guys, because look, I'm gonna pencil in Garrett Cole as an ace. Still, I'm not calling. Last year was whatever. He's still the ace. But if one of those question marks, specifically Luis Severino, if he can come out and show that he was that first half 2018 guy again, then this team, he's more so than any other player on this roster, at least a pitcher. He brings this team from a run-of-the-mill American League team to an elite true contender if they can have a 1-2 punch with Cole and hopefully Severino. But it's a major question mark. Wow. So I think all we have left, we got Christian here. Let's go to Christian.
All right. First of all, I'll say this: I have no worries about Garrett Cole whatsoever. Okay, I've seen enough. I saw enough of Garrett Cole post Spider Tack to feel confident about him. It doesn't say in my Twitter bio Garrett Cole SMD toward 2022 for no reason. Okay. As long as Amy leaves him the fuck alone with the stupid fucking dress up fucking Instagram shoots, he'll be fine. Okay. I don't worry about him.
This is another Will Smith situation about to happen.
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth, Christian.
I don't know, guys. Me and my girlfriend just started a TikTok. I might be dancing around.
Oh, shit.
Hey, go for it,
hey, Gary, if I see you doing
man.
a Joey Votto shit, you're off the team, baby.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it to a floss. I'll tell you what I really want to say off air for sure. Yeah.
Christian, go ahead and finish.
All right, so Jordan Montgomery, love him. Best fourth starter in Major League Baseball. I'll go on record as saying that. You're a joke of a fucking rotation if he's your second most reliable pitcher, though. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, Luis Severino, and we said this on Monday, I would take 25 starts from him, 4.10 ERA. Not acceptable for a number 2. Acceptable for a guy that hasn't pitched in 4 years. Yeah. And I'm not going to hold the Yankees' stupidity against Luis Severino. So that's their fault they didn't upgrade for a number 2 and sticking a guy in there that hasn't pitched in 4 years, okay? Jameson Taillon, if he's healthy, we saw him in July. He was the best pitcher in Major League Baseball in July. If he stays healthy, we'll leave him in the middle of rotation. I don't really worry about him. But again, if you do that goddamn word, if. And Nestor Cortez is a fucking joke, okay? You're not, and this is not, look, I hate this. Yeah, I hate Nestor Cortez. That goddamn stupid mustache, the turtle. He's a fucking mascot. Put a giant baseball on his head and fucking parade him around the outfield because that's what he's become to this fan base. Okay. Oh, he's got a 2.99 ERA. You know what? Fuck you in his 2.9 ERA. Okay. Aaron Boone, who you could say a lot of things about the way Aaron Boone manages his bullpen and the way he manages his rotation, doesn't let Nestor Cortez sniffed the 5th inning. That should tell you all you need to know about Nestor Cortez. And he is the perfect guy to come in there. Somebody who's got to miss 2 starts, Yeah, let Nestor Cortez pitch. No, fine, no problem. I have no issues with that. But you're going to sell me. You're going to sit there with microphones in your face and tell me that you are a World Series team and one of your 5 best starting pitchers is Nestor Cortez. Chris, play the drop, please. Just do it for me.
Get the fuck out!
Seriously, that's all I have to say about Nestor Cortez in the fucking rotation. Luis Gil came up, dominated. What did we hear? He's not ready. And it manifested itself because the fucking 5th time they brought him up here, the kid couldn't find the fucking plate. Davey Garcia actually looked like he could be a solid major league pitcher. Yeah, let's fucking send him down to the major leagues and then we'll jerk him off in fucking San Diego where they played the division series. Oh, only 1 inning, Davey. Only 1 inning because we got this grand fucking plan. And Michael King, Chris, smarter Yankees. He should be in the fucking bullpen.
You know, part of your point here is that Cortez should be the guy who fills in when a starting pitcher goes down. No, it'll be Michael King dominating in the bullpen and then them using him to fill in when someone does, and then fucking up the whole dynamic of the bullpen.
When you're selling me that you're a legit World Series contender and the only starting pitching acquisition you made was Shelby fucking Miller,
All-star.
in 2015, Arby, everything the Yankees did this year was great. If you're building a team in 2015, Josh Donaldson,
because they were all 2015 All-Stars.
Marlon Gonzalez. We read a stat on the show. It might not have been this past week, 2 weeks ago. The Yankees had 8 guys on their team that made the 2015 All-Star team.
Yeah,
8.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's what they do. That's what they do. But so, I think I'm last. I think everybody else went, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, so just jumping into it pretty quickly. I mean, here's my thing. Garrett Cole, I think we all agree with this. Unfortunately for Garrett Cole, he has to be the Cy Young for the Yankees to be really terrific this year. That's my opinion. If Garrett Cole has a high 3 ERA, low 4 ERA, God forbid, the season's over. There's no way they can recover from that. Luis Severino, look, I love Luis. I've been a big fan of Luis Severino for all the years he's been injured. I've been a fan of him throughout all those years and waiting for him to come back. But that's what it is with Severino, right? We got to wait and see. People want to talk about, oh, well, he looked good at the bullpen. Well, we don't need him for that. You know what I mean? If the Yankees didn't do nothing to improve the rotation. So Luis Severino's being looked upon to be a number 2. Whether it's fair to him or not, it is what it is. That's what his role is. His role is a number 2 starter. Then you look at the rest of them. Montgomery. Hey, I like Jordan. I like Montgomery. I like Tyone if they're healthy. Here's my thing with the number 5. And I want to talk about this guy. I think this is pretty important. Nobody brought this guy up yet. If Clark Schmidt is making this team, make him the number 5 starter. He should not be somewhere else. Why is he somewhere else? Make this guy the number 5 starter. It doesn't make any sense in the world that he's not.
Hey, who runs the Yankees?
Brian Cashman.
He's not here right now.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It makes sense then why Clark Schmidt would be called up to wipe his ass in the bullpen,
Right. No question about it. But that's my biggest problem with where this team is right now is that we're hyped up about this team. As you see in the hype video on the screen now, we're excited about this club, and we want to be excited about this team. But my whole thing is, what is this team looking at when they pass up on a guy like Robbie Ray? I don't want to go to the offseason because I want to focus on it right now, but what was the thought process of you putting this team together and saying, you know what? We believe that Luis Severino could give us something. Where the fuck was your mind at? Luis Severino could give us something, we hope. Again, it goes back to hope. If, as Christian said, if he's healthy, if he makes 20 starts, if he can have a 4 ERA and at least get through the season. Those are all very big ifs. But if you're going to start the season and Clark Schmidt is going to make the team, stop fucking around with these young guys. Make him be what he's supposed to be. At the end of the day, this guy's had surgery after surgery. He's finally healthy. Give him the damn role. Don't let this guy come out the bullpen again. Because we all know that's what they're going to do. They're going to let this guy come out the bullpen. It's going to be the same exact shit we see year after year. We know he shouldn't be coming out the bullpen, and they're going to put him there. So my whole opinion of the rotation, I think SGR fell off, so I'm waiting for him to get back
his
on.
computer dropped out.
Okay. But the whole idea of all of that is, we just need innings. Because Sheffield's right what he said. We're about to get into the bullpen. The bullpen's really good. The bullpen for this team is really good. We know that. We're going to talk about that here shortly. But we need innings from this rotation. I think the offense is going to be better. We're going to talk about it too. But Cole, I think, again, just to go over all the 5 guys, Garrett Cole needs to be an ace. And when I talk about ace, I mean he needs to be bare minimum low 3 ERA guy.
That's not even good enough for me.
Maybe that's
for
not.
me it's 2.
I don't disagree with that.
He's got to be in the 2s.
He got to be in the 2s like Houston.
Okay. I'm okay with that. He got to be in the 2s.
20 wins in the 2s. I mean, the dude's going to have to dominate. That's just the reality. I mean,
right.
And it's not his fault.
It's not.
Brian Cashman, when you sign a $324 million contract, you're assuming that they're going to do stuff behind you. When Aroldis Chapman comes up and says, well, I thought it was going to be a lot easier to win titles here in New York, it's because he
stopped giving up home runs in the postseason.
Very true.
There
He didn't foresee the way that we were going to run this organization going forward. That's the way the Yankees are right now. They can't imagine a situation where they're running the league like this. They're running their team like this, and it's honestly pathetic.
Yeah. Luis Severino, for me, God, you just got to fucking be healthy. I mean, I don't think it shocks anybody if Luis Severino makes 10 starts. I don't think it shocks anybody if he makes 25 or 30. I'm not confident one way or the other, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but we're a fucking $260 million organization with a starting pitcher who hasn't started as our second guy since 2018. That's the reality of it. Number 3, you got Jameson Taillon. I love Jameson Taillon. Always liked him. Christian's right. He was one of the best starters in June, July, whatever it was. He was one of the best. But this guy's never had a season where he hasn't been injured. Red flag. Jordan Montgomery. Just pitch. Stay healthy and pitch. Stay healthy and give us innings. Let's get innings out of Montgomery. That should be the goal. Get innings out of Montgomery. And then as the number 5, whoever the hell it is, here's the thing I want to throw out there too. I hear people on Twitter saying, well, people got to understand that the Yankees will go out there and add a big name when it comes to the deadline. Why the fuck would they do that? Here's my thing too. One, the only way they can do that is if they do what they did with Gallo, which is given far more that teams will pay. They can't take no salary. So if Aaron Nola's available, they can't go get Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola has a lot of money left on his last year. They can't go get a top guy.
Zach Wheeler was a guy for me. He's a guy for me.
He was a miss. But look at all the misses Cashman has. We can have a whole fucking segment on that.
Before it became apparent the Phillies were going to compete this year, Zach Wheeler was a guy I was like, well, why? Brian Cashman should be calling Philadelphia to see what it takes to get him. If the GM in Philly is still Dombrowski, I think it is. If he called up Brian Cashman and said, listen, I will pay you to take Zach Wheeler, and all you have to do is to go outside your office and scrape together some gravel and mail it to me, that would be too much. The postage would be too much for the Yankees to get Zach Wheeler.
Yeah.
So don't tell. So anybody that thinks that the Yankees are going to go out there and make a big move, where is it? Where have you seen? What gives you the confidence? Because if the Cubs and the Rangers did not pick up all the money on Rizzo and Gallo's deals last year, they wouldn't have been coming here last year. And as Pete said, Pete makes a great point. The Yankees then overpaid in prospects for these guys because they didn't have the financial flexibility to go get them. And they're going to be sitting at 260. And the number Hal will not touch is 270 because the Yankees have this thing about these fucking draft pick slots because they've done so well drafting lately that God forbid they drop 10 spots in the draft.
You want to know why we signed Gallo? Honestly, the only reason Joey Gallo's a New York Yankee is so that Brian Cashman could have Yes Network talk about the fact that we didn't pay him $1 last year. That's the only reason he's on the team. He's a solid little player. Like for sure, Joey Gallo is a solid baseball player. But given the team he was joining, the addition just doesn't make sense. We need a guy like Starling Marte. You need a player who actually fits the organization. Doesn't mean the guy that you're bringing in, like Donaldson's a bad player or IKF's not a good baseball player. But when you bring on some of these guys, you have to ask yourself, is this the fit the Yankees needed? And the Yankees are just trying to do smart stuff instead of looking at obvious stuff.
Yeah.
And when you're not making obvious decisions, you're going to really just back yourself into a corner. And that's what the Yankees have done. It's not like we sat around on Harper and all these dudes and then now we're at $175 million payroll. No, we're at 260. So it's like, we honestly are just, we're not that smart. We're just not that smart. And we're trying to outsmart the room. And I promise you, like, anytime the dumbest dude in the room is trying to be smart, stupid shit comes out of their mouth. Like we were in a World Series 4 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
The ghost of SG.
The ghost of SGR. But no, just I guess whoever wants to move on next to the bullpen, let's go from there. So Chef, you started. I'll let you keep going on to the bullpen.
The bullpen's great. That there's no question about the New York Yankees bullpen. They're going to be great again. They're always great. It honestly doesn't matter whether or not they're free agent signings. I know the Britton stuff looks bad now, but he was really good. Chapman was really good. Like he's still been a successful player for the New York Yankees. But at the same time, just because your bullpen's good, my concern's always been this lineup. I hated this lineup. And that doesn't mean, even when we were hitting a bunch of home runs, and I brought my uncle on my show, and he's like, yeah, you can hit a lot of home runs. And yes, like teams that hit home runs win World Series, but you can't just have a dominant bullpen and then just turn around your World Series champions. No, there's a whole bunch of steps that need to happen. And when Brian Cashman went and talked about the fact that we had the super bullpen and that we should have been in the World Series in 2017, the bullpen or not, we didn't make the World Series because we couldn't hit. So like, I like our bullpen. I like them coming into this year. I do. I really like some of the additions they made, but ultimately, like, I don't think the bullpen's really just going to be used as a crutch to save this mediocre starting rotation. So I'll bump it over to.
Let me get the super chat in here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is from, again, Ra Thompson says, the mystique for playing for the Yankees is long gone. And if you all think the Yankees front office looks dysfunctional, I can almost guarantee you the free agents see this as well, and it's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, you already know the Yankees aren't the Yankees aren't used anymore as a free agent to push like salary. Like what free agent? Like Juan Soto becomes he becomes a free agent.
Yep.
Why would Scott Boras or anyone's agent go, yeah, let's get the Yankees involved? They're going to push the Dodgers to X amount. The Yankees haven't done shit.
Yep.
They haven't done anything to push anybody. The Phillies are the one pushing us for Bryce Harper. These other organizations are bullying us. We're pushing up our payroll not because of big name players. We didn't fill up a roster of has-beens like Russell Westbrook in the Lakers. No, we filled up a roster of dudes that were just like pretty good like 4 years ago. And we just kind of stacked up the roster of dudes and said, yeah, well, if we just add all these pieces, we don't have many weaknesses and then we'll go win a World Series. Shit doesn't work that way. It just doesn't.
Not at all.
So I'll kick it to RB.
Yeah, I'll piggyback what Gary said about the bullpen. I'm confident in this bullpen more than the starter rotation. Like I love the addition of Miguel Castro. I think he'll be solid for us this year. JP Spears that just been added.
Yeah, Sears. I'm a big fan of Sears. I could talk quite in detail about him.
I'm also a big fan of JP Spears as well. And then who's the other one? Marciano as well.
Yep. Marinaccio.
Oh, sorry. There you go. But yeah,
you got a little with the Marinaccio.
But yeah, I feel confident. My only concern and fear is that, like what Gary said, that this rotation, Cashman and these guys gonna have them just pitch 4 innings a game, and they just go to the bullpen. Then by the end, when it counts towards the end, these bullpen are gassed up like their arm is dead. That's my biggest concern for this bullpen, that they get their arms are dead towards the end where it matters. But other than that, I have no Chapman got to get his stuff in check. If we can have the Chapman from early on of last season, how he was arguably like the best closer in the league, like sharpen his tools, then we're ready to go. But that's my only concern is towards the end, these bullpen, their arms are dead. Like what happened to Chad Green last year. He was all gassed
I forgot
up.
He was even alive till you said his name just now.
So that's my only concern is towards the end, they're already exhausted because Booney, used them up so much throughout in a regular season.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw it to Christian.
I'm not. I think if you're going to rank list the concerns of this team, I think the bullpen is probably your least concerning thing.
Yeah.
If the Yankees don't overuse Chad Green, I think he'll be fine. I would not put him in a lot of high leverage spots. I think Clay Holmes is going to be fucking phenomenal this year. I think we saw what he could be. If you believe in Matt Blake, Miguel Castro is a great move. If you believe in Matt Blake, because the guy's stuff is nasty, he just can't throw strikes. So if you believe in Matt Blake, that's a great move. Michael King, if the Yankees do the smart thing and not the Yankees thing, this is a major weapon out of your bullpen now. A 2-inning guy where he could almost be like that new Ramiro Mendoza. You know, the Yankees are kind of missing that type of guy in the bullpen that can give you multiple innings on multiple days. So that's why I like Michael King in the bullpen. We've seen him be dominant out of the bullpen. We've never seen that out of him as a starting pitcher.
Yep.
That's why I don't get the fascination with still wanting him to start.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you met some of the newer names. So I got to see how they shake out, obviously. And then you're down to really Loizica and Chapman. And, you know, Boone said that they're not, in not so many words, paraphrasing, that they're not going to be married to Chapman in the 8th inning. And that isn't so much against Chapman, but pro Loizica. This is a big year for Jonathan Loizica because you need to know that he could step in and take the role next year.
Right.
And I know you don't want to. I know I said I'm the guy that says don't want to look forward to next year, but you need to know that if you're going to let Aroldis Chapman walk, which you have to do, nobody's going to come here and say that Aroldis Chapman has to be back next year.
Yeah.
You need to know that you have your guy on this team. So if they split save opportunities, you know, I think that's a good thing because number one, we all know, I think everybody in this room knows that Aroldis Chapman is going to go through a 3 to 4 week stretch where he is the worst pitcher you ever laid your eyes on.
Yep.
So you're going to need to remove him from that role at some point because he's been here since 2016, really. He's had those spurts all the time. So I think my biggest concern, and a lot of people have said it so far, that my biggest concern is their durability in terms of being overused because, you know, like you said, Cortez 4-inning guy, you know, Montgomery might not be asked to go deep. Tyone not to go asked. We don't know what
Sevy. Sevy may not be asked to go deep.
You got 4 guys in this rotation that you're not going to really, you might not even trust to give you 5 innings until maybe June or July. And then these guys are going to have dead arms. I mean, you know, we call it, right, Chris? What do we call it? Proctoring?
Scott Proctor. Scott Proctologist.
So, you know, you just hope that the Yankees don't proctor too many of these guys. You know, if for anybody who doesn't get the reference, Joe Torre pitched Scott Proctor every single day.
And
Joe Torre used to make
Scott.
He used to make him pitch during off days too. He used to just make him warm up in the bullpen.
Had to. Remember Tanyan Sturts too? Same thing with Tanyan Sturts.
Tanyan Sturts,
Yeah.
So as long as they avoid getting proctored, I think this is a very, very good bullpen. I don't worry about it. So let Chris have his moment in the sun now.
Look, I'll be short and sweet here. I obviously no concerns with the bullpen. I do, however, because I am so down on the front office and the management of this team, I do have concerns a little bit with how they manage the bullpen, and I'll explain why. I personally think Jonathan Loizica is going to have his breakout year, where last year was his breakout year for him and for the Yankees organization, I think. But he's going to have his breakout year where all of Major League Baseball knows his name going into the 2023 season. I truly believe that.
Yep. Benny from the block.
Yeah, well, Chapman's on his way out. I call him J-Lo. Chapman's on his way out. And
traded him this offseason.
I should have, but, for as long as he's been here, he hasn't had that moment, Chapman, where you felt comfortable. But you can't say he was the worst thing ever either. So my biggest thing is this with the Yankees, with this bullpen. I am more than okay with playing the hot hand this year. You have a lot of good guys out there. What I'm not okay with is And when I say hot hand, I'm specifically really talking about the Chapman Loaisiga stuff. If Chapman starts the season and he is all over the place, or he gets into one of his stretches where he can't throw a strike, and you say you're handing it over to Loaisiga, that's fine. And then if Loaisiga gets shitty and you want to go back to Chapman, fine. But in my mind, for some reason, I see the Yankees splitting them and platooning them almost all season, where they say, oh, the matchups were better to go with Loaisiga tonight in the ninth, or Chapman tonight in the ninth, and so on and so forth, lefty, righty, whatever. And I'm not okay with that, because to me, we saw the most elite closer anyone will ever see throw a baseball. And that is not just talent, it is a mindset. You need to be a great elite closer. It is a mindset. And that mindset gets fucked with when you don't know if you're the guy coming in the ninth or not every night. So if you want to play the hot hand, fine, and give it to someone as their job to lose, fine. But I see the Yankees platooning them too. I really do, and I think it's going to be a really bad mistake. Throw it to Francis. Did you go yet?
I did not.
I'm going to go to you, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't think there's really much I can say here. I think you guys have all said it all. It's real simple.
That 45 hat is rather attractive too, by the way.
I mean, NyynewsTV/shop, right? I mean, check it out, guys. What are you waiting for? The bullpen is 100% the least of my worries. I think some of you guys already echoed that. I love what we have in guys like Clay Holmes, obviously Johnny Lowe, Chapman. Chapman is Chapman. I mean, we have to ride with him this year. They're paying him the money that they're paying him, so they will 100% try to get him in as many save opportunities as they possibly can, regardless of whether we like it or not. But I do like, the fact that they do realize that, part of what has, I guess, messed with Chapman a lot too has been the fact that he'll go 4 and 5 days without getting into a game, and then they'll just put him into a closed situation, high leverage, because like the situation calls for it. And it's been said many times, and he said many times, like he works better when he's being used with consistency. So if they get him into like the 8th inning of a game where they're maybe trailing on the road or something, that's probably going to help just to keep his, his arm warm and stuff like that. Like keep him in regular game, mode, not just sitting there 4 and 5 days because there's not a save opportunity. Like this whole bullpen, it shouldn't just be like, oh, well, Chapman only pitches if there's a save opportunity. I don't think, no disrespect to him, but I just feel like, you haven't earned that really. Like you haven't won anything with us. None of us have won anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you pitch when needed. Like we got to put you into games to have you at your, highest, at your highest level of performance whenever we need you. And if he doesn't show up, then I hope and pray that they just go to Johnny Lowe. Go to Johnny Lowe.
Yep.
I don't care how much you're paying Chapman. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, do you want to win or do you want to look at your checkbook? Like if you're trying to win, then I think you know what you need to do, right? But all that being said, I like what we're bringing out there in terms of bullpen. And I think it really just bodes well for what Chef was saying early on, that the rotation can be what it is when you have this bullpen that you have. The question is, if we get to October, right, what kind of shape is this bullpen in by the time we get there, right? Yeah. Like, is Chad Green already dead? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do we break Clay Holmes? God forbid. But you know what I'm saying? Like, these things are things that, like, I think about when I think about the bullpen and how good it is. Because, I mean, it's only so many times you can go to the same well. Let's go to. I went to Luca last time. I'm gonna go to Alex this time.
Really interesting, and I obviously agree about the Chapman point. I thought the Yankees should have traded him this offseason. I felt like they should have traded Chad Green. I mean, we obviously know what happened last year with Luis Cessa. They threw him in a deal with Justin Wilson to the Reds because the Reds didn't want to take on just Justin Wilson. I don't blame them. I didn't like Cessa years before, but I don't give me the shtick of, oh, you hate him years before. Stop. But what's interesting to me is that the flow of, again, new pitchers we're getting this year, the young guys, Marinaccio, Sears, and all that stuff, but also the veteran guys, Peralta, Lidge. So I'm confident in the bullpen. I just wonder how much time those young guys are going to get. And I feel like, guys like Schmidt or Gill or some of these other cats that we have that could be young and good bullpen arms, I feel like they should get a little bit more time to pitch, in the big leagues rather than Lidge and Peralta. But obviously you need your mix of lefties. So honestly, other than Chapman, I have confidence in the bullpen. Also, Chad Green, I don't really have confidence in him. I'm going to go to SGR if he hasn't gone yet.
All right, I'm back. I got
Oh!
I had to switch.
You brought
the
the gobble. Did you bring the gabagool?
Yeah, I had to go down. I had to make a quick plate.
Nice.
Look, I mean, you guys have all kind of been echoing that same thing. It's not the players that you're concerned about. It's going to be the use of those players that might end up costing them in the end. So really, for me, the key to this bullpen is going to be those kind of middle long relievers like Clark Schmidt, Michael King, Heel, and then eventually Domingo Germán if he ever comes back. Those guys are going to be those bridge guys where we didn't really have that last year. When a starter went 4 innings, well, it was kind of that next man up was going into the 5th inning, where if we have a Michael King, a Heel, or Clark Schmidt can come in, pitch 5, 6, and 7, and then you're bridging that gap there. And then 8th and 9th, you could mix and match. You could pick, all right, this guy didn't pitch yesterday, we can throw him in today. So that's really it. For me, it's going to come down to those middle relievers stepping up and eating some innings for them, because this starting rotation isn't going to pitch a lot of innings. It's pretty clear.
Michael King was the master at that last year.
Yeah, and
that coming in, and you can really limit damage when you have a guy like Michael King coming in. You're right.
They're saying like Clark Schmidt's going to be really the guy for that role this year. And, if those guys step up, well, then Chad Green's not going to have to pitch multiple innings for his appearances, and then he's maybe saved. So really, it's going to be a few of those guys stepping up and eating some innings. That's really the main thing, the main concern for me for the bullpen. I don't know who didn't go because I wasn't here for a little bit. So
I think it's myself, Luca, and I think that's it. I think me and Luca.
Yeah, I think we have a really good bullpen, pretty underrated, and also pretty young. So hopefully we keep those pieces down the line. But I'm going to go with my brother on this. Chapman and Green are my biggest question marks. But I do think Green is a little more reliable and more consistent than a Chapman. But I don't know who said this. I'm not sure I remember. But if Chapman blows up at the beginning of the year, you have to go to Loaizaga. Let him, learn the position. Let him take over, because he was clearly reliable in such a role last year. Not that he was the closer, but in those late innings, he was a very reliable reliever.
Yeah. And then I guess I'll take over to wrap up the bullpen. I like the bullpen. I've always liked the Yankees bullpen. The one thing this team has always managed to do is to put together a pretty decent pen. The problem has always been is that how tired they are by the end of the season, as Chef brought up and a lot of people on here already mentioned. I love J.P. Sears. He's a guy who started. He's a guy who's also, come out the pen too. So he's already used to that type of role. One of the other names that in spring I think really opened up our eyes is our former prospect, Manny Banuelos. I think he looked terrific. I think he's another guy in AAA that could come up. I also think, our young starters, maybe down the line, Luis Heel could come out of the bullpen. I know we don't like doing that, but when it comes to a World Series title, we do whatever the hell we got to do to win it. Luis Medina, another guy who's just lights out. I mean, this is a young prospect, could be very, very good. And if you have a chance to bring this guy at the pen, we know Germán's going to come back at some point. Another guy that can pitch out the pen, or hopefully not. But with the guys they currently have set up with Loaizaga, Chad Green, Chapman, I don't have much to really say that is negative regarding this, besides like what Chef said, which is how they're used. How they're utilized is going to be key. I think they have the arms. They got the depth they need. If somebody struggles, they got somebody else that can take over. Weissert is another guy in AAA who is really good. Brito is another guy who's really good. There's a lot of guys. Steven Ridings is injured. He'll come back from his injury. So there's a lot of options there. Wes Nesky's another guy who we've heard a lot about. So there's the prospect capital side. that can really jump in and help if they need to. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not concerned at all about the bullpen. So I'm ready to move on to, I think, that the thing that's going to really have to carry this team, and that's the offense. And I'm going to start off on that and just pass it around to everybody. We know what the Yankees did, right? We understand it. We know at the end of the day, here's the thing. I could wrap this conversation up when it comes to the lineup really quickly. The guys last year who didn't perform need to fucking perform. That friggin' simple. DJ LeMahieu needs to be DJ LeMahieu. That's not hard. Gleyber Torres, look, the Yankees are biting a bullet here. They're saying, look, we believe at second base he's going to be this 280, 2018, 2017 Gleyber again, 2019, whatever it was. He's going to be this guy again that can hit 20-plus homers, bat above 275, and play good defense at second base. If he's not that guy, he's fucked. He's done. He's done. Aaron Hicks, I got no use for. None. No use for at all for Aaron Hicks. I think Aaron Hicks is a fucking joke. For this guy to have the balls to come out and say 30-30 and CC sat there without saying anything, because I would have sat there and said, you're out your fucking mind, aren't you?
CC he meant 30 hits only.
30-30. Think about this, seriously. Aaron Hicks saying, I'm going to do 30-30. Fucking it. You can't even run. What are you talking about? You got some fucking balls on you. Go fuck Tiger Woods' daughter, whatever you're doing. Have a good time with your life and enjoy your fucking self. Nobody's sick. I'm sick of this shit with a guy like him. Put Florial. What does Florial play in center field hurt the Yankees? Oh, he might bat 220. He's going to play better defense. He's more athletic. There you go. And better defense in center field. That's one. Stanton, I'm not concerned about. Judge, I'm not concerned about. Donaldson, look, if he stays healthy, he's the guy we all wanted in a sense. In the sense of attitude and personality. He is the guy that we all asked for. So we got him. In the sense of attitude and personality, to kick this team in the fucking ass. Because let's be honest, under Aaron Boone, this team plays like a bunch of fucking crackerjills.
The official snack of the Tampa Tarpons.
There you go. They play like a bunch of crackerjills. So that's my idea for this. Look, the bench is the bench. You know, Trevino, cool. It's a good pickup. That's not a knock. I'm not gonna knock the little moves because the little moves have been good. It makes the team better.
That's all they do is make little moves.
I agree. No, 100%.
But Christian, a bunch of little moves turns into a big move.
Turns into a big one, yes.
So just wait.
At the end of the day, look, I don't expect much from Aaron Hicks. I don't think the Yankees are even. Look, would it shock anybody if Aaron Hicks is not in the starting lineup on opening day?
That's what I'm rooting for.
I mean, that's what I think we all should be rooting for. I've been saying it since the end of the offseason. Tell Galloway, look, Joey, get the fucking center field. I don't give a shit if you don't like playing center.
I'm afraid, Pete. I'm afraid.
No, go fuck yourself. You're going to be afraid for a whole fucking season, man. You'll be afraid for a whole fucking season. You'll play center field, shut your mouth, and get a deal somewhere else. But you're going to play center field.
Even Judge said it. Even Judge said it playing around when Gallo was mic'd up.
Oh, he wasn't playing around. That was real.
I know it was real, but he was like, "You're afraid to play center field?" He's like, "Nah."
So that's my whole thing for the offense is that, look, do I think this Yankee team has improved, especially defensively? Yes. And Ozzie Guillen was on the other day, and he said that, at the end of the day, the Yankees shortstop just needs to catch the fucking ball. The Yankees shortstop needs to play defense. The catcher needs to play defense. That alone is going to make him better, and the guys, the big boppers, need to do their job. In reality, yes, that is the way of Major League Baseball. But unfortunately, we got so many ifs up and down this lineup that, I hope this is a breakout year for a guy like Florial. I hope that Oswald Cabrera does well in AAA. We could maybe bring him up at some point. I hope that Oswald Peraza, who homered already in his first at-bat in AAA, shows that, guys, look, instead of waiting on the year of Volpe, who I love too, let me get that shot. Let me come up there and do what I got to do. But the Yankees passed on that for IKF, who by all analytic numbers, next guy I'm going to is Francis, because you sent this to me yesterday. All these nerds love the Baseball Savant page. He might have the worst Baseball Savant page of all fucking time, and all of a sudden, he's going to hit 300 this year, 20 home runs, as these morons are saying on fucking Twitter. So, Francis, I'm going to pass it over to you. I'm done.
Yeah, man. With the lineup, I think it's very simple, right? I'm gonna just rattle off names really quickly, like you did, that I'm not worried about. Judge is one of them. Stanton is another. Outside of that, I don't know how many more people I am that confident in the lineup, right? DJ LeMahieu looks good in spring. He looks good in spring. What you said about DJ being important to this lineup cannot be understated, right? If DJ LeMahieu reverts back to the catalyst that he was in those first 2 years with the Yankees, to me, that changes the game. That changes the game. Because if DJ is DJ with this lineup again, like Rizzo in there and stuff like this is a different game. But that's an if. And not only is that an if, but we don't even know where the hell they're going to bat DJ.
Yeah.
Because they're not talking about him being the leadoff. They're talking about Donaldson being the leadoff, which is a whole other freaking thing. They don't know what they want to do with the leadoff position. This
Smarter
has been for
Yankees.
years now. Yeah. This has been for years now. We don't know what the hell a leadoff hitter looks like because they're trying to be the smartest person in the room. Right? Josh Donaldson, 36, 37-year-old Josh Donaldson, right? 3 WAR player last year. Projections look like something close to that again, maybe this year. But I can't sit here and say that calf is not going to act up, that, age isn't going to catch up with him, that, I can't sit here and say any of that, right? Can I hope that Josh Donaldson is what he was last year for Minnesota? Yeah. If he is, good. If not, I don't know. We're saddled with a 37-year-old third baseman that we gave $50 million to. But again, let's say that works out. Gleyber is another huge question mark, but not only a huge question mark in the lineup, but a question mark in the fact that, like, he's playing a position where we have somebody better than him at that position who won't play because he's there, right? But then if you moved him to the other position that he quote unquote played, we have probably 2 other people on the major league team who can play that position better than him. And then in the minors, there's probably the army of them that can play the position better than him. So like Ari was saying before, the more and more I look at Gleyber Torres, the more and more he just seems like the odd man out. And I don't understand why we're forcing it at this point, right? But he's here. So if he continues to look the way he did in spring, which most players don't, which is why I don't know why people get so excited about what happens in spring training. But say he does come out hot and do it. Hey, it could be good for this lineup. What I sent to Pete last night about IKF was the last thing that I wanted to look at before the season started. I read like articles and shit that they were putting out about him in Texas and things like that or whatever. Listen, the guy's makeup seems amazing, right? This is a dude who became a catcher just so he could get called up to the major leagues.
Yep.
Catcher is the hardest defensive position on the baseball field. He became that just to make the big league team. Made the big league team, played there a little bit, then got moved over to third base when there was a need, and won the Gold Glove there in the COVID shortened season, right? Switched over to shortstop last year. Has a pretty decent glove there, right? But look at the defensive metrics on that decent glove there at short. Technically speaking, not even technically, no, actually speaking, we already had that defense at short in Tyler Wade, and we let it walk, right? We made a trade to get that defense that we already had in Tyler Wade. So if it was just about upgrading defense at short, why did we have to make that trade for him when his glove is like Tyler Wade's, right? But then you could say, well, he's better on offense than Tyler Wade is. Well, maybe. But if you go to the numbers that these analytical nerds love and stuff like that, I told Pete last night, man, there's a way that this can go south and really fast for IKF and really fast. His barrel rate is ridiculously low. Like it's damn near navy blue on the Savant page. The outs above average is right there. The hard hit percentage is right there. X slugging is right there. Walk percentage is right there. These are all things that we need in this lineup, right? Yep. That aren't things that he brings to the table. Now, Yankees Twitter, we have you believe that all of a sudden he's going to bring him to the table because Dylan Lawson is the GOAT and he's a Yankee now. I don't deal in those fantasies. Like, I'm gonna need to see it first, right? I'm going to need to see it. So that's it. IKF to me is one of the bigger question marks to me, and one of the bigger players that I'm going to have my eyes on, because if he does hit 271 like he did last year,
that's all
at the bottom of our lineup, that's really all we need, right? He turns it over, and the big boys at the top get it started again. But if he doesn't, if those analytics prove to be true, and he falls from 270 to like 230, then it's just like, what the hell did we just do? Like, what the hell did you just do? You had all these other shortstops out there. You had Peraza in the minor leagues. Like, what the hell did we just do? Yeah. So that's pretty much my assessment on the lineup.
Let me go to Chef next. Priscilla says she's hungry.
Oh, okay. So this will be it. This will be it for me then. Okay. So, I have to I want to break down, honestly, the whole team, because the whole team offensively to me is just okay. Like we're talking about DJ LeMahieu bouncing back. To be honest with you, if DJ LeMahieu, if he bounces back into being the player he was 2 years ago, I still don't like this offense. I really don't, because there's not enough contact. And I talked about how important DJ LeMahieu was to this team, and he is important. But just because someone's important doesn't mean they're enough. Just their presence in the lineup. Rizzo's left-handed bat helps, but when you have an entire team mostly of right-handed hitters who strike out a ton, your two best players are right-handed power guys. How'd you not go get speed? How did Starling Marte not cross anybody's mind? Yet we bring in a Josh Donaldson, which, by the way, as Francis alludes to, Josh Donaldson could just strain his calf in a week during practice, and this dude will just be out for half the season. And if that happens, DJ LeMahieu essentially is our full-time third baseman, or full-time wherever there's an injury. And Gleyber Torres is now a full-time player again. We all agree Gleyber Torres should have been out of there. He can't hit. The dude hasn't hit since there were juice baseballs, when Major League Baseball literally told you the equipment was different. Gleyber hasn't been good at any other point of his entire career other than when there's juice baseballs. And nobody can tell me any different, because it's proven. It's on camera. Everyone admitted it. And so we're sitting there talking about what Garrett Cole's going to be. Why isn't anyone bringing up the fact that Gleyber Torres is who he is with real baseballs or deadened baseballs? Then you move over to Anthony Rizzo. He hasn't had a monster year or a Rizzo year in 3 years. So why is everybody expecting a bounce back? It seems as though if we put someone in pinstripes, we just pencil them in for a career year. At some point, we have to look at guys and say, what can you expect from this guy? What is IKF? What's he been? Yep. And if IKF brings exactly who he's been, which is a Gold Glover who hits 263 with 4 home runs, that's not enough to win the World Series. So if the Yankees are going to look at their lineup, which has been the reason we lose, really, how can you look at this team and say, yeah, the addition of Josh Donaldson, which is an upgrade offensively over Urshela, I guess, that's enough to win a World Series? How can someone say that? And to me, if they say that, they're just interested in being the nice guys, and they don't want to step on anyone's toes. But we're going to tell you that here at this network. I don't have any other thing to say about it other than the fact that we are just okay offensively. Some days we're going to hit and score 11 runs against someone's 4-starter in Baltimore, and then we're going to face someone's ace, get it shoved up our ass, and you're going to say, where is Giancarlo? Where is Aaron Judge? Where are these guys? Because we just have 6 dudes in a row taking turns trying to hit home runs. It's very difficult to score like that, and we keep doing it every year. We've done the same thing every year, and people gaslit me and said, well, we hit this many home runs. The Twins are trying to do it. What the hell have the Twins, what have they done? Everyone's sitting there going, the Twins, the Yankees, the Twins, number 1 and 2. And yet we're not competitive in the postseason. Yeah. So at some point we have to do something different before we can start looking at it and go, damn, Josh Donaldson's leading off. Oh, we got DJ LeMahieu in his prime. We got Stan. We got Judge. These dudes have shown you they are inconsistent. So you can already guess that 3 or 4 of these dudes are going to have down years, and we're all going to be moaning and complaining, talking about Juan Soto and where he can slot in the 3 spot. So to me, it's just disappointing. They needed to fix. I know we needed a 2, but mainly, dude, we can't hit. The Yankees cannot hit. They are so streaky, and The only thing that can make me sweat more than Aroldis Chapman is this Yankees lineup. It's annoying. It really is. I don't have anything else to say about it.
Who got? Let's go to Chef. Throw it to somebody else.
I'll throw it to somebody else, and then I'm out of here.
Are you signing off? Can you give us, before you go, can you give us your predictions? Win, loss, and who wins the East?
Okay, win, loss. I have the Yankees winning. I think they'll do better against Baltimore, so I give them 90 wins. I'll give them 90 wins. I haven't taken a step back elsewhere because I think the division got that much better. And then so we're talking about who wins the division. Oh, man. I mean, I think Tampa wins the division. Wow. Ultimately, I still think Tampa is going to win the division somehow. They just do. They just find ways. They are smarter than us, guys. Because you look at them on paper and you go, this lineup's not that good. That rotation's not that good. And yet they always just find a way to bring some dude up who's just impacting the game more than dudes we're paying. And that's just what they do. So I just see either Tampa or Toronto winning the division. I still think we're better in Boston. I think they have too many holes, especially with Chris Sale. So I think Boston probably finishes behind us, and then Baltimore finishes in last place. So wild card, and then I'll hope for an ALDS appearance, and then we get bumped.
Okay, sounds good to me. Appreciate you, Chef. Thank you for joining.
Later, Chef.
All right, guys. Peace.
Man, see you around. Let's go to Alex.
Yeah, Chef brought up a good point, and someone else brought up a good point too about A, leadoff hitters, and B, like those 6 guys in a row. It irritates me that the Yankees really don't know what a leadoff hitter is, and the fact that we barely have any contact hitters. Because once you get past LeMahieu, and assuming he's your leadoff hitter, you have Judge, you have Gallo, you have Hicks, you have Donaldson, you have Stanton, you have Rizzo. All those guys are power guys. And, maybe one week they're all on top of things. Another week they're not on top of things. And that's going to be, once again, like Gary said, extremely streaky. Then you get to the bottom of the lineup. What was one of the worst things about the Yankees last year is that they didn't have a good bottom of the lineup. Now, Gary, let's be honest, as in Sanchez, was a better offensive hitter than Kyle Higashioka. None of that is translating to the regular season. So you have him and IKF. And then what boggles my mind about just overall people, and also the Yankees as well, trying to justify who should be the leadoff hitter by giving me OBP and OPS. No. That personally, me, that's not what I go about in terms of who should be the leadoff hitter. It should be contact hitter who sets the table. DJ LeMahieu is one of those for me. And, this whole nonsense, Gallo should lead off. Donald.
Jesus, mother of God.
Please
listen, I've disliked the Gallo thing, the transaction for a little while now. I personally didn't want them to buy at the deadline last year, but I didn't want Gallo if we were going to get anybody. But the thing with Gallo is he is the total opposite of a table setter when you're looking for a leadoff hitter. There's 3 probabilities of what his at-bat's going to be: a walk, a strikeout, or a home run. That does not set the table. I get it. He has speed. And, they also use the Rizzo excuse, his OBP or whatever. Guy can't run for shit. So it bothers me. And when I said way earlier in the show that I'm not necessarily on the train that Donaldson is an upgrade, as a player, he's better. But for what the Yankees need as more contact hitters, and especially deep in the postseason, if they're thinking about making runs, I feel like Urshela was just better fit for the Yankees, and the Yankees really didn't need to add another power guy. Yes, they needed to add someone with quote-unquote edge. But you know what? That subtracts a contact hitter. And I'm not saying Urshela would be leadoff, but those guys help when you're in the postseason. And obviously the Yankees haven't reached it in a couple of years. So this lineup can be either really good in terms of power, or they could suck like last year.
Yep. Luca.
I can agree with what Alex said. I think with what it comes down to is balance and how to balance out the lineup. Because for me, DJ LeMahieu and kind of Fleffa, in my opinion, are leadoff guys. He obviously had got to hope for a big year from LeMahieu to be able to be that table setter. But I would structure it as, now I got to rethink it over as how many contact hitters we have. LeMahieu ideally is your leadoff hitter. Then you could afford to put like 2 or 3 power guys, and then you could afford to throw in another contact guy. Like Alex said it, we need table setters. We need guys to take the pressure off of Judge or Stanton, whoever, so they don't end up swinging for the fences. We need guys who can drive those runs in. not just guys just swinging for the home run and whatnot. It's going to be coming down to balance. And my thing is, what's going on with the catcher position? What kind of offensive production are we going to get out of Kyle Higashioka? Oh, he hit some runs.
Mike Piazza. We got Mike Piazza.
Oh, he hit 7 home runs in spring training. All of a sudden, now he's Johnny Bench. But that's not even the point. What are we expecting from Higashioka offensively? I just want a solid bat. That's it. I don't want a guy who wants to. I don't want another guy who wants to kill the ball. I need a guy who's a contact guy, just a solid bat. I'm not expecting 30 home runs from this guy. If he hits 30, fine, great. But I just need a solid bat out of Higashioka. Rizzo, you know what to expect. LeMahieu hopefully bounces back. Torres, he's got to bounce back. The Yankees are massaging his ego. Connor Falefa, contact hitter. Donaldson, power hitter. Obviously, we know that. Gallo really has to impress me to change my thoughts on him. And Judge and Stan are, nothing to worry about, honestly. But Hicks just sucks. So I don't have any expectations for him.
Christian, let's hear from you, man.
Yeah, Aaron Hicks sucks. I don't want to hear anybody fucking defend this guy. 30-30 means that he'll play 30 games and injure 30 body parts in 2022. That's a 30-30 he's going for, okay? And we did over-unders on Monday's episode, and I set the over-under on 80 games played. I took a under. I went and said that if the over-under was 3, I'd still take the under on Aaron Hicks games played this year. Okay, I have no faith in Aaron Hicks whatsoever. Okay, that's just the first. We'll just get that out of the way because fuck him. Go fuck you, Aaron Hicks, you jabroni fucking jerk off. Okay. Let's get the players I hate out of the way first. Okay, Kyle Higashioka. Fuck you, Kyle Higashioka. Okay, and it's not even that I hate. It's not even Kyle Higashioka for being the player that he is. It's that he is 30. Was he 32 years old now? He is what he is.
He's
bro.
up there.
Huh?
Yeah, he's up there. He's
a backup catcher in his
He's
league.
not a spring. The dude's barely a Major League Baseball player. Like he's a 4A player. Okay, I understand. There's nobody here that wanted Gary Sanchez. Maybe I don't know. Does anybody want to fess up and say they wanted Gary Sanchez back this year?
Hell no.
Okay, all right. So nobody's going to sit here and say Gary should have came back. But Kyle Higashioka is not the answer. And Chris made this point on the show this past Monday. When Kyle Higashioka comes in, gets a couple spot starts, the hickey bombs are flying because he comes in, nobody's really paying attention to him. He jumps on a couple mistakes. He can hit some fastballs. And he can hit some hickey bombs. Once he starts playing regularly, he gets exposed as the player that he is, and it is what it is. People are out there cucking over this. He's going to hit 25 home runs this year. Yeah, okay. If you turned all the sliders down to fucking easy on fucking Major League Baseball, the show, maybe he could hit 25 home runs. But in the real world, we said his over/under number was 13 home runs. Like. In a full season, can he hit 15? Probably, but he's not an offensive player. Like the Yankees have kept him around because apparently he watched Garrett Cole's balls back in California days or something. I don't know. You want to know the funny part about that whole story, that narrative that they pushed, that Higgy and Cole were these long lost best friends. Their long lost best friends story was that they were at like an Angels camp for like all the top high school players in the area, and apparently Higashioka caught Garrett Cole, but didn't even remember him.
That's an amazing story.
So you got him, right? I don't even know if we should talk about Isaiah Connor Falefa as being a starting player on this team, because is he? I mean,
who knows?
Are we just going to go like we said earlier in the show? Are we just going to go for the theater?
Yeah, I think he has to be starting.
He has to be.
I mean, how fucking dumb can this team be?
We have no other choice now.
Pete, don't set a fucking challenge for them like that, okay?
That's the thing, though.
You're right about that.
It's true.
Are we just going for the theater of having Gleyber Torres start opening day so we don't hurt his feelings? Is that what we're going for? Okay. IKF, I would like to see him lead off if he's going to play every day. I think having a contact hitter that can run a little bit at the top of the lineup is what they need. They need somebody that maybe he's not going to have a great walk rate or whatever. That's fine. But if he's going to hit 275, I feel like that's more, even 265. Maybe that's a little bit more valuable being at the top of the lineup than all the, because look at your bottom of your lineup is going to be Hicks, Falefa, and Higashioka. Once you get past Joey Gallo at 6, dude, you might as well not even fucking trot those guys out. Just give them automatic out, boom, boom. All right, let's bring the leadoff guy up. It looks like Donaldson's going to be the leadoff hitter, which I don't like personally because I believe if you're going to get the max out of Donaldson to make this deal make sense, he's got to be a 30 home run guy. He's got to be a guy that drives an 85, 90 runs.
Yeah.
Is he going to do that in the leadoff spot? Probably not. I mean, his over-under number was 63 runs batted in. That's fucking putrid for what I'm expecting out of Josh Donaldson. I mean, if we're going to get 63 RBIs out of her third baseman, why didn't we keep Gio Urshela then? I mean, so then you're going to go 2. You're going to go Judge.
We had to help the Twins get Correa. So.
Correa.
They were the creative ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late to start ripping shit out of the wall now. Pete, don't get me started. I mean, you got Judge. As long as he played 148 games last year, I think. If he's on the field that much, he's going to be an MVP type player. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I mean, you got Anthony Rizzo, who you by default have to hit third because you can't hit Judge and Stanton back to back. You have to put a lefty in there. And Joey Gallo, I mean, you seriously need to pull a fucking Richie Aprile on Beansy to the person that wants to bat Joey Gallo third. Like you have to actually run
Joey Gallo. Fuck you. That's all you gotta do.
So Rizzo's got to bat third by default. I like Rizzo. Like I said, I didn't want to go into this offseason hating Anthony Rizzo because of what the Yankees didn't do. So I'm actually okay with Rizzo being here. He'll play good defense at first base. He'll hit a little bit. He doesn't have to be a 300 hitter. Be a guy that can use the field a little bit, hit your 25 home runs, break up Judge and Stanton. I'm fine with that. And G played 130-some games last year. If he does that again, he's going to be a fucking monster. The Yankees need to keep him on the field for 130 games. Yeah. Half of that's got to be in left field, right field, wherever you want to play him. He can't be a full-time DH. Okay, it's out of the question. It looks like I'm just going based off of what we see in spring training. DJ's going to be the 5 hitter. Are you maximizing DJ LeMahieu as the 5 hitter? I don't know personally. But maybe the experiment with him leading off is done. Yep. If he returns to form from 19 and 20, then yeah, batting him 5th would make sense. And then you got Joey Gallo over there, who if this guy can hit 210, I'm not asking for the moon here, guys. 210. He's going to get on base at a 350 clip and hit 30 home runs. For a 6 hitter, that's not bad. But then once you get past him, I have no faith in any of those guys. You could have potentially, if Joey Gallo is going to be a 190 hitter again this year, four out of your 9 positions are going to be dead spots in this lineup.
Yeah, it's true.
And if you incur injuries to either Judge or Stan, you're done. You might as well pack it in. So, I mean, I got a lot of worries about this everyday lineup. I do, and it's all predicated on health. And if you can get surprise seasons out of Falefa or Higashioka, I'm not going to put Hicks in there because I think I just saw him pull a hamstring. Okay, so.
I just felt him pull a hamstring. Who hasn't gone? I think Chris, RB. Okay, RB, you went already?
No.
And RB.
Okay, so whoever wants to go ahead.
You want me to take it?
Go ahead, Chris.
I think it would be a miserable mistake to start Donaldson to lead him off in this lineup. Because you have to ask yourself, does this team benefit more from maximizing DJ LeMahieu's potential or maximizing Josh Donaldson's potential? And I don't care how many home runs Donaldson's going to hit. I want to maximize DJ LeMahieu because I disagree with Chef in the point he made, because just like SGR said earlier, about Severino in this rotation, that him having a great year changes the dynamic of the team. The same thing for me with DJ, man. Honestly, and we saw it last year. This offense was dead the entire year.
Spot on.
And this guy never turned it on. So to me, like I said, maximizing DJ LeMahieu is way more valuable to me than maximizing Josh Donaldson. And then you can just ask yourself this: where am I going to see better pitches? Batting in front of Aaron Judge or batting in front of fucking Joey Gallo? And it's not even close. It's not even close. So what they're doing is they're not only missing out on more opportunities for DJ to get to the plate, they're also, especially with the bottom half of this lineup being as putrid as it is, they're also allowing them to work around DJ batting fifth if he's going to bat fifth.
Yep.
And that's just not okay, man. DJ needs to have the best guys behind him. The best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if Joey Gallo is in a spot, and we know it's going to happen, where he is just can't see the ball at all, can't hit anything, pitchers are going to know that they don't even have to throw DJ a strike, and then they have 4 outs coming up that they can make with their eyes closed. Yep. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a really bad mistake that they can make. And everyone talks about, everyone's gripe with the Yankees lineup over the last handful of years is that they strike out too much, right? They never talk about those guys who strike out too much. They never talk about their home runs. Why? Because there's no one filling out this lineup and balancing it. I forget who said balance. It might have been Alex or Luca, but the balance is important in a sense of, I don't care how many times Judge or Stanton strike out. If they're hitting 30 plus home runs and I got guys around them that get on base and put the ball in play. And we already said at the bottom of this lineup, they're automatic outs. The one thing I'll say to Gary Sanchez's defense, I said it on our show this past week, at least he was a scary presence, right? He could be batting 100 and, $150, and I'd still feel more pressure throwing to Gary Sanchez than Kyle Higashioka.
But you wouldn't want him on this team.
No. Right. I'm not advocating for him to be on this team. What I am saying is, if you're going to make that move, then you also need to make moves for guys who have a low strikeout percentage and a high on base percentage. That's the one thing I really do like about Joey Gallo. I think he'll be a good player in the stadium, playing a full year, 80 games at 81 games at Yankee Stadium. But I really like him because he gets on base. And that's what I want to see from him. DJ LeMahieu needs to be at the top of this lineup. Judge and Stanton could strike out as much as they want. You sprinkle in some other guys. Rizzo, do I think he's going to have a huge year? No, but do I think he's going to be the guy that the Yankees need over there? Yeah, I really do. And Donaldson, I don't know, man. I really don't have a lot of faith in him, but I hope he comes out and dominates. I hope he
Did he
plays
cut the
potential.
rat tail?
Yeah,
He did,
so.
yeah.
He had to.
I think so. So at the end of the day, again, I'm leaving it in the hands of Yankee management on how to
Never a good
utilize these
idea.
guys.
Never a good idea.
And if I'm going to do that, can I be optimistic about this offense? I can't. I'm sorry. If they play their cards right and they get these guys to maximize their potential, or at least come close. Last year they didn't even come close. At least come close. I think, again, they have enough pieces to make the postseason, as SGR said. I don't think that might be as much of an issue as it is, can this team win it all? And if you're making me answer that, it's absolutely not at the way it's constructed right now. I'll throw it over to Arby.
Yeah, as for me, like I said, I'm very the same. There's a lot of questions with this lineup, just like how I said about the rotation. Judge and Stanton, not worried about it. Well, with Stanton, I hope this year he could play in the outfield as more often, because we saw how he played last year. When he was playing the outfield, he was playing better. And I said it last year at the trade deadline, you put Stanton playing the outfield, you won't see him get hurt as often compared to him being a DH full time. And look what happened. He was playing better, and he stood on the field, which is huge. So for those two, I'm not worried. Gallo, just get on base. We all know you're gonna strike out a lot. You even said it publicly. That's who you are. You walk, you hit homers, and you strike out. So just continue to do that. Play great defense, and within the infield, it's question marks all around. Rizzo, is he gonna produce offense like with the Cubs? We don't know. Defensively, I'm pretty sure he's gonna still be the Rizzo that we all know. But offensively, I hope he can stay healthy. Second base, big question mark. Who's playing second, DJ or Glaber? Or are they going to be rotating both of them every single day? That's the reason why I said Glaber is the odd man out. So DJ can be the full-time. I still think DJ should be the starter, period, at second. But can DJ bounce back from last year's injury? And for me, I think he will stay healthy, be healthy this year and produce, be like the old DJ of 19 and 20. Because he's important to this lineup. I forgot who mentioned that.
Everybody. I think everybody said that really about LeMahieu.
So yeah. So if he becomes the older DJ of 19 and 20, this sets the offense up way better, even a threat. So I hope he can stay healthy. And then for third base, Donaldson, big question mark. Can he stay healthy? Like we don't know if that calf's gonna give up on the first game. So hopefully he can stay healthy. If he does, we know the number that he's going to put up. And then with IKF, I don't know. Can he replicate the same thing he did with Texas last year? Because if he wasn't this team last year, he would have led the team in hits with 171, I believe. So for me, my biggest concern in this lineup is the bottom of the lineup, 6 through 9. Because last year, it was like everybody said here, easy outs. Just focus on the 1 through 5. 6 through 9 is going to be easy outs. That's why I would have Gallo batting 6 or 7 in the bottom of the lineup. And then with catcher, Higgy and Wervet, they're defensive catchers. If we see Higgy hit 10 or 15 home runs, are we going to be shocked about that? I would if he hit 15. Wervet, I don't know much about him.
It's not even healthy.
Imagine that.
My dude pumps iron, bro.
Cashman traded for an injured player, and he knew about it. He still traded for him.
He got the catcher version of Luke Voigt.
Yeah.
There we go.
And his obliques don't work.
Cashman loves big buffed guys for whatever reason.
Are you trying to say something about Cash? Are you trying to say something about Cash?
I think he's saying.
He said Cashman loves big buffed guys.
Hey, Luke Voigt, Vorvet, Stanton, Judge. I don't know.
Yo, somebody's got to keep him warm when he's sleeping out on the street.
But yeah, like I don't know how some fans can be like very confident in this offense. Like, and also I think Luca said it. This offense is not balanced. Like we only have three lefties: Hicks, Gallo. Who's the other lefty?
Rizzo.
And Rizzo. Yeah. And then the rest is all right-handers.
And Hicks is not a lefty.
Hicks switch hitter.
Yeah,
you're right. I got you. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, he's better right. Yeah, he's right.
I can't stand him batting from the left
side. Where's the balance in that? We have 2 contact hitters.
I can't stand Hicks, period.
For real, I don't care. Let them fucking bat outside the stadium.
Until this day, I always say, give me Florio over Hicks. And people will bash me. I don't care. It's common sense. When Florio was up, what did he bat, Pete?
300.
When he was up. Thank you. But people were like, oh, who cares? He only batted 20. He only had 24 plate appearances. Oh, but anyways.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah.
It's not his fault. He only had 20-something plate appearances.
So for me, I'm not very confident in this offense. There's no balance. And people say, oh, but we add a player that strikes out less. And Donaldson and IKF. Okay, 2 players out of 9? What about the others? Everybody else strikes out a lot. So, and then also the big ultimate question is if they all can stay healthy. Donaldson can stay healthy. DJ can stay healthy. God forbid Judge gets hurt or Stanton. Like what Christian said, just wrap it up. If any of those players gets injured, just wrap it up. So I'm not overly optimistic like Francis is.
Talking Francis.
Talking Francis. So I just pray for the best, but I'm not overly confident. And then as in wins, last year they won 92 games.
Wait, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Let SGR talk about the line. Then we're gonna get right to it.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have too much to add on the players themselves.
Players. Good. There's a lot of good hitters in the lineup. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of them putting it all together. So the real concern is that consistency. Because if you just go back to last year, they only had a 2-week stretch where they were a powerhouse offense. And that was right when they acquired Rizzo.
Yep.
And they were the best offense in baseball. But the rest of the season, this was a 500 team. And that wasn't the pitching's fault.
Yeah.
It was offense not coming through when they needed to. LeMahieu not being that clutch hitter with runners in scoring position like he was in years prior with New York. And this offense being way too much like Sheffield, like Geraldo, the high really high and the lows are really low. They need to find that balance this year and be a team that can put those runs together more consistently rather than just a 2-week stretch they've been doing the last couple of years.
I got one last question for SGR. Is Gardy? Have you heard from Gardy recently? And is he coming back?
Well, I made a prediction that Gardy would be with a new team by the time opening day started, but I don't know. He hasn't returned any of my calls. I tried reaching out to him. He's kind of being close right now. Maybe he is the.
Can I ask you a question? Why on the calls does Brian Cashman just fade out like it's a dream?
I love
He just goes, it just be like, yeah, we're thinking about it. Oh, it just goes away. He just like fades away.
Fading into the stars.
Oh, that's the thing. Okay. All right. So to wrap this show up, this is the fun part here. I'm asking everybody, we're going to go around the table. I need the AL East winner. I need the AL MVP, AL Cy Young, and the same thing for the National League. I don't care about National League divisions. If you guys want to give it, give it. I just care about the AL East, AL MVP, AL Cy Young, NL MVP, and NL Cy Young. Starting with Luca.
All right, so for the AL East division winner, I'm going to go with the Jays. I know that's not a bold take, but I'm taking.
Let's give a win number for the Yankees.
Win number for the Yankees, I'm going to go 92. You know what? I'll go 93. 93 and 7. No, that would be 93 and 69, actually. I said on Pinstripe Chronicles that their range would be 90 to 95 wins. Not too optimistic. AL Cy Young, I think Cole has a good chance. I think Gossman also has a good chance. I don't think Robbie Ray's going to do. I don't think Robbie Ray's going to do back to back. I don't think he's that type of pitcher. Although he would have been a good number 2. Cashman. Anyway, I know it's not bold. I'm going to go Garrett Cole. I think this is going to be his year. And AL MVP. I really see Shohei Ohtani getting it again.
How does he not?
You want to know why?
He's healthy.
How does he not?
Do you want to know why? His cock is still stuck in the back of all the writers' throats.
Well, definitely Jeff Passan.
And for each game that he throws a pitch and also hits, it gets lodged deeper and deeper. Yes. So I don't see it coming out anytime soon.
I thought it was in Jeff
Passan hasn't
ass,
had one of his kids.
Yeah, he might have. He might have had one of his kids already.
NL Cy Young, I'm going to go.
Be careful with him. But go ahead.
NL Cy Young, let's see. I could easily see Walker Buehler getting it. And then for NL MVP, Freeman went to the Dodgers. I'm just trying to think of like the most important players. I'm really trying to think hard on this one. Bryce Harper. I think he might do it again.
Back to back. Woo.
All right. Let's
like it.
Let's go to Francis.
All right. It's the moment y'all been waiting for. Optimistic Francis. I'm gonna be as optimistic as I possibly can. So I'm gonna leave the AL East for last. I'll give you literally everybody else.
Okay.
AL West, I still got Houston coming out of there. Central, White Sox for obvious reasons. NL West, I think the Dodgers are gonna come out of there. But that's going to be a crazy race. Crazy race. NL Central, I'm rolling with Milwaukee. And NL East, I am rolling with the Atlanta Braves, but I also think that will be one heck of a race. You said MVP and Cy Young, right?
MVP and Cy Young in both leagues, yes. And then win-loss.
NL
Oh, you got that win-loss record.
Yeah, I got you. NL Cy Young, I'm going Freddie Peralta. Not probably going to be a popular choice. Obviously, Corbin Burns. There's in his own rotation. There's guys, but like better, right? But I feel like he can have a crazy breakout year. I'm going to choose two guys to break out. Him for the NL, and then for the AL. Everybody knows like I want Cole to win it. I'd like for Cole to win it. I think he could, but just to say something different, if it's not Cole, I could see McClanahan from Tampa Bay running like doing it. It's Tampa Bay. You know what they do with pitching down there, and his raw stuff was ridiculous. So I can't imagine like what it's gonna look like now. What did I say? Oh, NL MVP. I think Acuna is gonna come back and have a fuck you year. His team won a World Series without him, and he's in great health right now. So yeah, watch out for Acuna for the MVP. AL MVP, I don't know how Shohei Ohtani doesn't get it. I'm not the biggest fan of that. You guys already know that. I think me and Pete have talked extensively on that. But I just don't see how, if he plays more than 2/3 of the season, how they don't give it to him every season that he's alive. Which is what it is, right? That is what it is. I'm gonna throw one in there too. Rookie of the year, AL Rookie of the Year. I think the rookies of the year will be nice races everywhere, but I want to go out on a limb, not on a limb, but just go out and put this out there now. Julio Rodriguez from Seattle.
Yes.
That kid is box office. And I think he's gonna rake, absolutely kill shit over there in Seattle. I'm super happy for him. Seattle's gonna have a great fun team to watch this year. So super happy for him. I hope he wins it. I really do. Now for the most important thing, right? The
Drum roll, please.
The AL East. I am going to go with not the Yankees winning the division. I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays winning the division. My hot take is I don't think that Tampa Bay will be as good this year. I guess in a sense, right, I disagree with Gary on that, right? Tampa Bay normally does figure it out, right? They normally do figure it out. But when I keep looking at the team, I see what they have, right? They're going to have a bullpen. That's for damn sure. The lineup, it doesn't scare me at all. Like at all.
Now that they traded Meadows, it doesn't scare me.
It's exactly. And on top of that, look at last year. They struck out worse than any other team in the league last year. Now, this year, we're talking about like a team that's lacking protection in the lineup because of the subtractions, right? Which the most recent being Meadows. Now they're gonna call up a rookie who has pretty, there's a lot of potential there. But in his first year, like, I'm sorry, not gonna scare me. Wander Franco is Wander Franco, great talent, great hitter. I'm with it, right? That he's cool. Arozarena no longer scares me. Like, he had that crazy run or whatever, but if you looked at how we handled him as a team last year, he didn't really hurt the Yankees that bad last year. So I don't see their offense as being something that's like really going to be that good. And their rotation, we already know, man, like they're going to be using openers and stuff like that or whatever. They're going to be getting really crafty with it. But I mean, outside of like McClanahan and Patino, like starter guys that like, their stuff is like good like that. I don't know. And with the Yankees having a balanced lineup this year, I don't see why we don't perform better against them. Last season, we started the season with a team that was ridiculously easy for Tampa Bay to pitch to. It was just an all right-handed team. Even the fake lefty that you had in Aaron Hicks was a right-handed batter, right? Jay Bruce or Brett Gardner. Yeah. This year, even though it's not that much better, just the fact that when you switch to a lefty, it's like Joey Gallo who can put one out in the seats, or an Anthony Rizzo who's not going to be an easy strikeout for you. That's already a big difference. So I think the Yankees are going to scrape together some more wins against the Rays. I think they're going to win way more against the Orioles. I don't think we're going to go 11-8 against the Orioles this year. If we do, it's going to be bad. But so you give me like what, another 2 wins against Tampa Bay. You give me like another 4 wins at least against the Orioles. Like, there's no way, bro. 11's not good enough. I'm talking, you need to win at least 15 of those. I'm sorry. There's just no excuse. There's no excuse. The Orioles are a shit box. There's no excuse. Toronto's going to be Toronto. I think it's going to be even tougher with us against Toronto this year. I know a lot of people keep saying they haven't gotten that much better, but I think they're winning the division. I think Tampa Bay's coming in behind the Yankees. I think the Boston Red Sox suck, and they're going to come in behind Tampa and the Yankees. And obviously the Orioles are the Orioles. So I have the Yankees finishing in second place, which would be good enough for a wild card. I agree with Gary that the wild card, they might win that game, right? Go to the ALDS, but likely they're getting bounced in the ALDS. Who wins those 3 games for them on the mound?
And who are we passing it off to?
Let's go to – I went to this one. All right, let's go to Chris.
All right, I'll start in the AL East, and I'll say I think the Blue Jays pull it off. I don't think they go too far in the postseason, to be honest, but I do think they're built better to sustain the regular season against the rest of the teams in the AL East. And I think Francis just made a great point, and I was thinking it. I think the Yankees could come in second place, and it's going to truly depend on how they play against the Orioles. I don't know how many more wins they have to have than last year, but they need to play the Orioles like they're the Orioles. And they can't play down to them. They need to utilize those games as buffers, as padding to their record. So if that happens, I think the Yankees could come in second, Tampa third, Sox fourth, and of course the Orioles in last. I'll say that I think the Yankees will have around 93. It would have been my guess. AL MVP, it's not even a question. Like I said, as long as Shohei Ohtani pitches and hits, for as long as he does that, the writers won't even really look at much else.
Yeah.
It's going to go to him. AL Cy Young, I'm going to go on board with Christian here and say Garrett Cole comes out with a vengeance, chip on his shoulder, and he fucking sticks it to every team that he pitches against this year. I got to give it to him, not just because he's a Yankee. I really believe that he has a career year this year. NL Cy Young, I want to say Bueller. I think Bueller really showed a lot of good stuff last year. And with Scherzer being hurt, is he hurt to start the season, or they think he's gonna?
They said he's gonna pitch second game.
They say he's gonna pitch Saturday.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. Who knows with what's going on with that? It makes me cautious to say him, but I'm gonna say Bueller. I think he really breaks out. And NL MVP, me and Luca, every time Luca was saying something, I was nodding my head. I have a weird feeling Bryce Harper. I think both leagues that they replicate. So was that it?
That's it.
That was all of them, right?
That's all of them. Let's go to Arby.
I'm gonna start with the National League side first. For my Cy Young, I'm gonna go with Burns from the Brewers. He just what he did last year, I think he's gonna replicate it again this year. And to be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if one of those pitchers from the rotation gets a Cy Young. They're just loaded. Well, Francis said Peralta, so Woodruff. I wouldn't be shocked if any of those win Cy Young. But for MVP, I'm gonna go with Juan Soto from the Nationals. He's just gonna have another monster year. Phenomenal player, so I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked either if Bryce Harper wins it. But I'm gonna go with Soto for American League MVP. It's pretty much a given that Shohei, but for the heck of it, I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge. He will get signed before opening day. If not, I will go to Yankee Stadium and riot and bomb the stadium down.
Oh shit!
They're gonna take us off the air.
Take it easy.
Say bomb on a podcast.
Take it easy with that shit. Don't do it, Francis. Matter of fact, watch.
Arby, you got a lot of followers.
He's gonna be signed tomorrow.
You got a lot of followers, Arby. Don't do it.
You're right. I'm gonna go Ghost. No, you're right. No, but I'll trash this stadium. There we go. Keep it PG. But Aaron Judge will be my MVP. he will get signed, and he's gonna show everybody why he was worth getting that monster contract that he's about to get, and prove to Cashman how, listen, it's gonna be worth every penny that you spend on me. And for Cy Young, I'm gonna go with Garrett Cole. Like he has to be Cy Young. Like he has to show everybody, listen, I'm not an ace because I use this sticky stuff. I'm an ace whether I use it or not. That's how great I am. And to be honest, he's gonna have to be that type of pitcher for this rotation. So Garrett Cole's my Cy Young, Judge, MVP. And then for the Yankees and for the division, I got the Blue Jays winning the division. They're just loaded, rotation wise, lineup wise, and that's an offense that's balanced. You want to go with balance? That's an offense that you got to look at. Now they got Tapia, which everybody's downplaying that trade. You guys are in it. Watch him play. I got the Blue Jays winning division, Yankees second, Rays third, Red Sox fourth, and obviously the Orioles. And for the amount of wins, I have them, I'm going to say 94, 95. Only because they're going to win more games against the Orioles this year. That's the only reason why. So they're adding more wins because of the Orioles. So 94, 95, I'm around there.
And who hasn't made picks? I know myself.
Me.
Alex, go ahead. And SGR hasn't gone yet. So Alex, SGR, then I'll wrap it up.
I didn't go either.
Christian didn't go.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh, I thought, okay.
Hold up, time out now.
No, because I thought somebody in the chat said he said Toronto as the division, but no, yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. AL East, I'll pick Toronto. I'll be a bandwagon. Yankees wins 94. AL MVP, the real MVP, not Shohei Ohtani. He will win MVP.
Did he say shithei?
Shithei
Ohtani.
Ohtani.
I like that one. I never heard that.
Okay. I think Vlad Guerrero is going to have a vengeance. I think because he was almost there last year, and of course Shohei Ohtani. NL MVP. I'm going to be bold here. You know, I don't like sucking up to the crosstown rivals, but I feel like Francisco Lindor is going to have a big year.
Wow.
In terms of NL MVP, I'm going to take MVP Cy Young. I'll take Max Fried. And then AL Cy Young, if I haven't missed anything yet, I'll take Kevin Gausman.
Nice.
What?
Christian.
Is Ryan there?
Yeah, no, something popped up on my phone, so it takes me away.
Okay. You popping things up on the show again. Okay. Let's start in the NL. Okay. For MVP, I got Shohei Ohtani. The writers are going to create a new rule where you can win MVP in both leagues, even if you don't play in one particular league.
It's going to be like that.
In all seriousness, I'm going to pick Manny Machado to win MVP in the National League because I don't see how he doesn't have a monster year because he's going to get a lot of pitches to hit because pitchers are going to be afraid to throw to Luke Voigt. So he's going to be the benefactor of all that. So I got Manny Machado winning the MVP out there. I'm a Zach Wheeler guy. I'm going to take him for Cy Young just on a hunch here because he's a guy I wanted for the Yankees. So I'm going to take him for AL MVP. I mean, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I mean, if it's not Shohei Ohtani, I mean, then what are the writers even doing? I mean, they're not doing their jobs, right, guys? I mean, in all actuality, I mean, if you're not going to swallow Shohei Ohtani, I have a hard time picking between Vlad Guerrero and Aaron Judge. It's one of those two guys for me, but it's going to be Ohtani. I mean, the guy can bat 120 and have an ERA of 10, and they'll still give him the MVP award. Dude, it's the Garrett Cole SMD Tour 2022. I mean, I'm not backing off of that, and it's Cy Young or bust for him. I mean, the only sticky stuff he's going to be doing is giving it to Amy. Okay, that's the only sticky stuff that they got to worry about this year.
Oh shit!
Don't let Amy hear that.
Fuck Amy, dude. Yeah, but in all seriousness, Garrett Cole's kid is like 2 months younger than my daughter, so I'm saying like let's set up some fucking play dates, Amy. You know, you and my wife could fucking can hang out and shit. I can give Garrett some fucking tips on how to pitch. You know, like I'll
not
pretend,
be a cuck.
I'll pretend I know what I'm talking about. You know.
Oh shit.
But for the AL East, like. I don't want to say it's the Blue Jays because fuck Canada, right? Did I offend anybody in the chat? I'm sorry.
I said that earlier, and I got a lot of people offended actually on Twitter.
I'm sorry. But people like to say, oh, they lost Ray, they lost Simeon, but like, how much better now is Vlad Guerrero going to be with another year? How much better is Biggio going to be with another year? How much better is Bichette going to be with another? And Springer was. And Teoscar, and if Springer stays healthy and plays to his potential, and I think they made enough moves in their starting rotation that they'll, even losing Ray, they'll still be good. So I do like the Jays. I mean, they finished a game behind the Yankees last year, so I mean, I think they're going to take that next leap and win the division. I want to be optimistic about the Yankees. I want to put them in second place. I can't do it. Like, I know I've been really hard on them saying they're a fourth place team. I'm going to pick them to finish third. I just feel for them to finish second, a lot of things have to go right. And it's almost like too many things have to go right. Yep. But I think the team that's going to fall behind the Yankees is Tampa Bay. Like, I have that feeling that Tampa Bay is going to be the real team this year in the East that really takes that step back, that's just a hunch that I have on Tampa Bay. I don't know. That means the Red Sox finish second. The Red Sox, I guess. I mean, it's just more by default. I think the Red Sox are going to finish second this year. And we did over-unders on Monday. We set it at 91.5. I took the over, and I think they'll be better this year, but they won 92 last year, so 93 is better. So you want to say they'll win 93 games this year, and so they'll be the second wild card. They'll be on the road, and if Garrett Cole is out there, being Garrett Cole, they can win the wild card. If that's the whole key right there. If Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole, they'll go to the ALDS. There's no doubt in my mind. But again, who said it? Who's going to pitch game 1? Who's going to pitch game 2? Who's going to pitch game 3? And by the time you might not get to Garrett Cole again in October, and that's the scary part.
Yeah, SGR.
Yeah, I'll just rattle them off. NL MVP, I'm thinking Harper again. Cy Young, I'm going to give to Logan Webb of the Giants. I think he's going to be a guy that
good call
this year. AL MVP, I got to just say Ohtani. Because if he stays healthy, he is going to win. AL Cy Young, Cole, which that's really the one award I think this team has true potential to win. I know Judge could get the MVP. I don't see a Yankee ever winning MVP. I think that award has caused extreme bias against the Yankees that we won't see another MVP in our lifetime for the Yankees. AL East, I don't like how all of you are really throwing the Rays away right now. That's something we all did last year.
I think Chef was the only one who didn't. Chef said they'll win it.
They were predicted to finish 4th last year. It's kind of the same thing this year. They lost some pieces, but I'm not making that same mistake twice. I can't discount the Rays. They'll win the division. I think Blue Jays will finish second, third with 92 wins, make it as a wild card team there. But I'm not discounting the Rays right now. They've proved us wrong way too much.
And I think I'm last to wrap it up. All right, so let's do this, and then I'll have one more question, just really quick to go through. I'll leave the AL East for last. Going over to the divisions, American League Central, I got the White Sox. The West, I got the Mariners. I think the Mariners are going to be a really friggin' good team this year. I think exceptionally good. I think a lot of people are counting them out. I think Adam Frazier is going to have a really good year for him. I just think they got a really good team overall. The East, you know what? Hey, you spend money, I'm going to say you win. I'm going to give it to the Mets. I know we don't want to hear that as Yankee fans, or I don't really give a fuck, to be honest. I think the Mets are just another team. But I got the Mets doing it. I got the Brewers, and I got the Dodgers, of course, taking it home. I'll do NL Cy Young. I'm gonna go with I'll go with Corbin Burns again, NL MVP. I think Bryce Harper's just gonna go on an insane run the next couple of years. I don't think he's gonna really slow down. AL Cy Young. I'm going with Robbie Ray. I think Robbie Ray's gonna have a fantastic season with the Mariners. I think he's gonna have a really good year with the Mariners. And then AL MVP, like you guys said it. I mean, the cock is down the throat of many guys with Ohtani. I don't think Ohtani has a chance of losing unless he gets injured. And if he does, look, I think Christian said it too. I think it's Vlad Jr. and I think it's Judge. I think those are the two guys that would fight for it. And then the last but not least,
Trout.
No Trout. I think Trout's going to be injured again. I think it's his regular history of him being injured. If he's healthy again, yeah, Trout could do it. But American League East, let's do it. I got the Blue Jays. I think this is the Blue Jays season. I just do. I don't. It wouldn't shock me if the Blue Jays win the whole thing. It just wouldn't. I just got that feeling that this is the Blue Jays year. You look around that lineup, like when they got Teoscar Hernandez, everybody said, "Oh, good, Grichuk's gone." I'm like, okay, well, they did the smart move. They didn't give a fuck that he hit against the Yankees. They said, wow, we're about to add better defense in center field and a guy that could get on base and cause havoc. That's different than what we have now. We got more. Now we've added more of that. These guys are going to run like animals all over the field. They're going to hit homers. This is a team that's going to come back from seven runs down like it's nothing. That's the type of offense this team has. And the people that's underrated their pitching, don't do it. They got 6 legitimate starters. And people want to say, Kikuchi's not good. Look, at the end of the day, Kikuchi's a starting pitcher. He's going to beat the bad teams. He's going to pitch some gems against some bad clubs. Is he going to dominate teams like the Yankees? No, probably not. But he is going to beat the bad teams. Pearson could take a step forward. We saw Manoah already. Manoah's a fucking animal. You got Ryu. I mean, and Barrios. I always forget about Barrios when I talk about that rotation. But they got him too. But when it comes to the Yankees, Christian, you summed it up best. You said the words that summed the whole season up. There is so many fucking ifs. This team needs so much shit to go right because guess what? Goes back to the offseason. They didn't add a starting pitcher. They didn't add a Robbie Ray. They didn't add a Kevin Gossman. They didn't add nobody else that we can sit back and go, well, if Sevy doesn't perform the way he does, we got these other two there. So maybe Clark Schmidt could come, maybe Luis Heel. But now you're counting on that in so many spots that I can't sit here as much as, look, if the Yankees win the division, all of us are going to be jumping for joy saying, fucking yes, good.
I'll be glad to be wrong.
Yeah, of course. All of us would be.
All of us would.
All of us would be. But here's my thing. If I got to make a prediction like we're doing right now on the show, I'm sorry. I got to go with the Toronto Blue Jays winning the division. I think they're really fucking good, and I give credit to their GM. They went out there, they lost Robbie Ray, but they added 2 starters. They added more via trade. They've done the things that a team needs to do to take that step forward. Like I think Chris said it too. They won 91 games. They were 1 game behind the Yankees. So I got the Blue Jays. And the last thing I want to wrap up with, quick, as fast as we can, we'll go around the table here. Bold prediction for the year. Something people may not be thinking is going to happen. You guys obviously know what a bold prediction is. I'm going to start off.
So predicting Brett Gardner is going to be a Yankee at some point wouldn't qualify?
That wouldn't qualify as bold because we know it's going to happen. When Aaron Hicks goes down, we're going to be saying Florial and Gardner is going to come in and just take over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys are going to get mad at me, but I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. This is my bold prediction. Garrett Cole is not going to be an ace this year.
Wrap up the season.
That's my bold prediction is Garrett Cole is not going to be the ace. Everybody's saying 2-something ERAs. I don't see it happening. I just don't.
How bad do you think?
To someone?
If I say bold, high 3s, low 4 ERA this year.
No.
Dude, I'm not even going to watch baseball this year.
Yeah, dude. If Garrett Cole's ERA is over 3.4, 3.4.
Does it have to be a Yankee prediction?
No. Any bold prediction you want. Any bold
I'm
prediction
gonna you know what? I'm going to tell Amy you said that, by the way.
You can. I mean, I'm not expecting a play date. with Amy, so we'll see.
I'd love a play date with Amy. Oh, we're talking about for the kids. My bad. She's not a grandma yet.
But Garrett likes. We know Garrett likes to watch. We heard that. So
Yeah.
man.
Does he? I could help him with that.
I'll shoot a bold prediction out there.
Go ahead.
I think Gary Sanchez is going to have a monster season in Minnesota.
Wow.
Whoa.
Minnesota.
Drop the bomb.
I really do, man.
You think
And again, I will not sit here and be one of those people who says they should have kept him. No. We all can agree right now. You got to make your decisions. You got to make your judgments in the moment. He shouldn't be on this team anymore.
Nope.
That being said, I think New York was so toxic for Gary Sanchez that he's going to go to Minnesota and he's going to have a monster season.
Do you think he becomes friends with Jesse Ventura?
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be great. Man, that'd be good.
Could you imagine?
As long as
That'd
he
be
can say
classic.
Minnesota correctly.
Minnesota.
All right, I'll give you mine.
Let's hear
Okay.
this.
Carlos Correa is going to be traded to the Mets.
Holy fuck.
Damn it, Christian.
Oh, man. Can you fucking imagine?
I had a Carlos
He's gonna-
Correa one too, but I'm not going to say
he-
that shit now.
He's going to be traded to the Mets, and he's going to play third base for them.
Wow.
Because he's gonna-
and then the Mets go on to win the World Series and take the fucking universe
Because
over.
Chris is way off fucking base with Gary Sanchez. He's going to be the same Gary Sanchez he's been for the last 3 or 4 years.
You think
Minnesota-
Correa has an impact on him, by the way?
You could.
On Gary?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
I don't know.
Or there's just
Minnesota will
hope.
be
There's
out
no
of it.
hope for Gary.
They'll look to cut bait. This is why it's the perfect thing for Minnesota. Either they're in the playoffs, they have a premier player, or they suck and they can trade them off for fucking prospects. It was the perfect thing for them. So I think that Uncle Stevie's going to be looking to make a big splash at the deadline. Minnesota is going to be Minnesota again, and he'll be a fucking Met, dude. I think that's you want a hot take? That's a hot take right there.
I like it. Let's go to Alex.
I'm gonna ride a little bit of a bandwagon here, but as Chef mentioned, he was on my show Monday, and he said I was kissing ass because we had a guest of this caliber on. Blue Jays Padres World Series.
Wow. Hey, no, I can see that.
Wow,
I can see that,
that would be
shit. I can
so
see that
fucking
shit.
good.
That would be
I'd be
good.
so-
That would be good.
That would
I'll
be so.
I'll be so
fucking
pissed.
good.
I'll
not
be pissed
wa-
too, but as a baseball fan, that would be
Yeah.
fucking.
No, I'm not.
Bro,
I'm
as
not.
that'd be so.
I'm not
fucking
watching
good.
that garbage.
Yeah, me neither.
Imagine,
I'm
Luke
watching
Voigt,
the shit out of it.
Imagine Luke Voigt holds the thing up and goes, "Yeah, fucking shove this up your ass, you cock."
Exactly. Oh man.
Francis.
one. Good one. Okay. Hot take. Can we skip me because I have one about
Yeah,
Correa, but I'm not saying that right
Arby,
now.
Let's go to you. Let's go to Arby.
Okay.
Because if what Christian said happens, I'm gonna no
Chris-
way.
Christian literally took mines, and I'm mad, and I'll be so
Damn.
sad and upset. But
You too, RB?
bro, I had Correa. I had Correa traded at the trade deadline.
Wow.
Well, my prediction would be Yankees trade for Luis Castillo at the trade deadline.
Shit, you must got another thing coming. You must have been watching different.
And
No, that's fucking bold.
and 2 weeks before
That's really
and,
fucking bold.
That's
and
fucking
2 weeks
bold.
before they hire another GM or
Yeah, right.
Brian
No, like,
Cashman makes that.
No,
move.
you want to know what would happen?
He might get Tommy
Luis-
John.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Luis Castillo had just been announced that he's out for the season with Tommy John, and then the Yankees
Cashman
trade.
trade.
Cash is so trades for him.
That's the trade that they'll give up Anthony Volpe and Luis Castillo with Tommy
shit.
John surgery.
That makes sense.
Damn.
Oh,
SGR.
Well, let's see here. My hot take, man. I fucking swear it just. All right, got it. I'll go with. I know this lineup has Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, but I think the biggest offensive production will come from Joey Gallo this year.
Wow.
Joey Gabagool.
Joey
He's-
Gabagool.
He's on a contract year, and I'm thinking in my mind that this guy has to have in his mind that it looks like the shift is being banned, right? Next
Yep.
year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not that-
official.
if he keeps that mindset and says, if I have a great year this year, I am going to get paid more than anyone next year because that shift is gone. That I am the one player that shift is hurting more than anybody else. If he could come out, have a massive year and show the rest of the league what he's capable of again. I mean, he just didn't really have that last year, but I see him coming through and stepping up on a contract year.
Griminator just said in the chat, Gallo's gonna hit 250. If Gallo hits 250, I'll fucking shave my head live. There's no fucking way Joey Gallo hits 250.
Out there.
No, there is
Shave my beard off.
There is no way Joey Gallo hits 250.
If Joey
He's not
Gallo
that
hits
hitter.
250,
He can't hit
I'll shove a
250.
pound of fucking gabagool up my nose.
I'll shave my beard off.
I'm talking about production, offensive production. And
I feel you. I'm just responding to that. No, you could be right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who do we have next? We got Luca.
Francis.
Luca and then
Oh,
Francis.
Luca didn't go.
Could I possibly have two? Just one for trolling and one for real?
Let's hear him.
Oh,
I
good
want
idea.
to start with the real. Let's get to the troll.
Astros win the division. I don't know if that's bold or not, but I just say that the Astros win the division. Their development system is great. And for trolling, Aaron Hicks plays over 100 games.
Fuck you. Go home. Cut him off now. Get him out of here.
Hey, Alex, you're gonna need a new host next Monday.
Does Alex have another twin brother we can bring in?
So you got another twin that can come out of nowhere and get in there? God, no. Goodness.
We could deep fake SGR as Luca.
SGR could definitely have a twins impersonation down by next week.
Yeah.
That is classic. Aaron Hicks is watching us now, smiling. He's so excited. Somebody believes in him. So, Francis, you're last.
Well, he's got CeCe. He's got CeCe who believes in him already.
CeCe's full of shit.
Come
CeCe
on.
knows.
I
want to hear this from Francis. This is gonna be fun.
All right, man. Bold prediction. Nah, man. I got a troll. I'll give you my troll one.
All right, let's
my
do that
troll
one.
one. My troll one is Gleyber Torres has an amazing season. That's my troll.
That means
nice.
That means he hits 260 with 16 homers.
Yeah, no.
Season.
When I say he has I mean like he's hitting like
30.
265, 270, and he got like 25 plus home runs at least. And
That's when you trade him.
Yeah, he plays in a decent second base and never sees innings at shortstop. But we all know that's not going to happen. Yeah. All right, let's go. All right, bold take. I am going to say Cody Bellinger doesn't find it. He doesn't find it, and like he's like gone completely.
Wow. Just falls off the face of the earth.
Just falls off the face of the earth.
Holy shit! His father's gonna be so upset with him.
I'd be so upset with him. I can't believe he's going through what he's going through now. And I'd still take him over Hicks. That's fucking crazy.
I'd take any. I don't know. I was gonna my original bold prediction honestly was gonna be that Estevan Florial has 20 homers for the Yankees, but I can't depend on them at all to ever make a move like that. It just,
he could have that if he
would
played.
hit 20 homers with the Yankees if he played all year. Like I told somebody, he might hit 215, 220. He'll pop you 20 homers, play better defense and steal. He'll be a 20-20 guy immediately because he walks a lot too. So, but you know, it is what it is.
My original one was that Correa, if Ohtani didn't exist, Correa would be the MVP of the AL.
That was going to be mine too, and then I remembered Ohtani existed.
Exactly, but then Christian said his is that he gets traded to the Mets. I was like, I'm not saying that. There's no fucking way. Like if he goes to the Mets and he's playing that fucking good, and I have to watch him not only not be a Yankee but play in Queens,
and he would live that shit up so fucking much.
Bro, he would throw shots every fucking game.
Oh, no doubt. Tyler has a super chat. He says, hot take, Yankees trade for a big-time starter at the deadline. I mean, I don't know who that person's going to be, but just to go ahead and I want to get to a couple of the comments here real quick. Hot take is another one from Chris, says Volpe gets the call this season. Greg says Gleyber is an all-star. That's the couple of hot takes that I've seen briefly there. But just to give you guys a quick update and a quick reminder, opening day Friday, we got the pregame show covered. We got Game Season Live, which is a watch party. Me, myself, Francis, and Chef Junior will be doing that. We got the postgame show on this Sunday. Coming up this Sunday, Designated Spitters at NYYST will have a little gathering.
We are going to start banging.
Yeah, there you go.
The
That's
NYY
fucking crazy.
The NYYDS podcast this Sunday.
The NYYDS podcast is Sunday
Yeah.
coming up. So we'll have that. And then you guys already know on June 25th, get your tickets now. Meet everybody here. I think all of us are going to be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're all going to be here. So come and meet us. Have a good time. Have a couple of drinks with us. Watch the game. We're going to take pictures.
Watch me watch the game.
Watch him watch the game. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see Cash. Maybe Cashman will be there. Who the fuck knows? But we'll see. But with that being said, guys, if anybody else got anything else they want to add for the preseason show?
Yes, my ass is killing me.
His ass is killing me. We've been here all fucking day. We're over 3 hours on. Almost going on 4
3
hours.
and a half, bro.
3.5. Come
Damn.
on, I'm starving. I was supposed to work out. My fiance's pissed at me probably.
Alex has got
Sheffield's
something.
girl kicked him off. Can we talk about that for a second?
She was hungry.
She was hungry. She said, "Hey, baby, get the fuck off. What are you doing? I want some gabagool."
Smart
Chef.
man.
Yeah.
Chef.
So shout out to Chef. Hope you guys are enjoying a meal. If you're still watching, get that girl fed. She's hungry. And with that being said, if nobody else got anything,
Alex,
go ahead, my man.
in response to Luca's
Oh shit.
comments,
Oh, shit.
I will be taking Twitter DM suggestions for a new co-host.
Oh shit.
Fuck
Oh
you.
shit.
Yo, I got a couple.
Like Aaron Hicks. Fuck you.
I got a couple candidates I want to put to.
Yo, can we get like Bret Hart versus Owen Hart steel cage match between the twins here?
Man. Hey, Christian, when was it again when Owen Hart had that interview? He said, all you had to do was tag me, Brett. Just tag me.
Yeah,
I
that was
remember
the
watching that shit. I was crying when he said that.
Don't make me show you what kind of wrestling nerd I am. It's
I
the
wanna see.
1994 Royal Rumble.
I love this, man. I could talk. We're gonna have to have a wrestling podcast one day and just fucking talk wrestling all day. I told you guys, by the way, if there's a riot at Yankee Stadium, I'm doing a new jack off the MasterCard onto center field. I'm just jumping right off that shit. You're just gonna see me fly, and that's it. But guys, to wrap it up, I also want to thank everybody that was in here. My goodness, we've had well over 100 the entire time. So thank you guys for staying with us for 3+ hours.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Truly a testament to how you guys feel about the network, and just great comments, great super chats, a great chat throughout the whole time. It's just been moving and moving and moving. Kevin says my favorite show thus far. Cool, and he says he loves Christian. Christian, you got some fans out there, man.
Yo,
Yeah, spend more than a few hours with him.
acknowledge me. I'm the head of the table, dog. I'm the big dog. Acknowledge me.
Oh man. So guys, with that being said, we will see you all next time. Again, appreciate you guys. Talk to you next time. Again, the next thing is Friday. So be available for Friday. We got you
Brett
guys.
Gardner's re-signed tomorrow.
Brett Gardner's re-signed tomorrow. They're gonna announce that's the move they're making. They're gonna let Judge walk. They're gonna bring Gardy back on a 4-year deal. And
They're gonna name him captain,
they're gonna name him captain. That's it.
and then they're gonna start banging.
And then that's it.
We are going to start banging.
And then to end the show, Chris, I need a doctor go vouch yourself.
Doctor, go vouch yourself.
That's the fucking best. That is the all-time best. All right, guys.
Opening day, bitches.
Opening day,
Let's
baby.
go.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Friday, tune in, NyynewsTv. We got you guys covered. Until then, adios.
Before it hits the front page,